Anyways, I have a Hatsune Miku flavor of G Fuel to answer your question.
Okay, what is G Fuel again?
It's just some like cringe energy drink powder that all the like gaming YouTubers used to promote, and they have a bunch of like crossover flavors with YouTubers.
So is it Hatsune Miku that has a crossover with G Fuel, or is it G Fuel that has a crossover with Hatsune Miku in this case?
I don't understand the difference.
I
What
don't know.
does that mean?
It feels like one is the guest and one is the host. You know, like
Oh,
Who's the
sure.
top? Who's the
one-
bottom between
who's the top and
Um,
who's the bottom between
I
G
s-
Fuel and Hatsune Miku? Is my
Well,
question.
I mean, I guess in this scenario, G Fuel is like the cum dump, so I suppose Miku is the top, but G Fuel's the host. You know?
Okay.
G Fuel's the one who like posted on Craigslist like my door is open from this hour to this hour, come dump in me, and then
Right.
yeah.
Like a power bottom, like a.
Yeah. Like Bakugo.
Sure.
That's an inside joke we'll have to explain to you another time.
I feel like I understand Power Bottom Bakugo, but maybe I don't.
Yeah, but there's a
There's
bigger
context.
story.
Yeah.
There's context to be added.
There are layers. Okay.
Yeah, there's layers. Welcome back, everybody, to Guys We'll Be Talking. Today, we're doing something a little special compared to our usual output. We're going to be doing what we are calling the quarterly quick play, where once a quarter, so like every 3 months basically, we'll record a normal podcast like normal people do. Not necessarily rotten, though, based on the conversation we were just having, we've already gotten some rot
Yeah.
in there. I will be your host and MC today. I, of course, am Jacob. To my right is your usual co-host, Victor,
Hey.
and our special guest for the day, and for, theoretically, all future quarterly quick plays, our brilliant composer, Lincoln,
Wow.
whose music you've just heard, I think.
Yeah. Whose music will be written by the time this comes out, for sure.
Yeah. And if you haven't just heard it, then you're gonna hear it right now. All right. Yeah.
Okay, do we start beatboxing now? That's what.
I can put a little drum beat over my voice in Ableton.
Good. So, yeah, so you said you want a beatbox for us, Victor? Let's hear it.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to hear the Audacity version of that, because I did not hear much from
No,
Discord,
I did
but-
not hear shit.
Oh, it will be much more pathetic. Trust me.
Okay, good.
That's good. I can't wait. So fun story about me is when I was a teenager, I wanted to be a rapper. And this was while I was like at that program, Troubled Teen Industry. And so I had a fellow classmate in this program who also wanted to be a rapper, and we wrote a song together
Who?
and performed it. Well, okay, it's a little complicated. So I wrote it with this one guy, and when I say we wrote it, I really mean he wrote it, and I came up with like a couple lines, but like it was still a collaborative effort, It was like a Beastie Boys situation. We'd be passing to one another for different bars and verses.
Hell yeah.
And then he graduated and left the program before we could ever perform it, but he like gave me and another one of my classmates the blessing to continue the legacy of this song. And this other classmate was a phenomenal beatboxer. And so we ultimately decided that like he would just beatbox for the song and I would perform the rest of it, but we gave him the bridge to rap over that he wrote himself, so he added a new bridge to the song and I beatboxed for the bridge, and this video is on YouTube.
Oh, fuck
And
Dude,
my beatboxing is fucking pathetic in it.
yeah. Let's
um,
go.
But, you know, my rapping wasn't bad, gotta say.
Hell
16-year-old
yeah.
Jacob, pretty decent rapper.
Got flow.
He had
let's
flow,
fucking
he had
go.
bars. 29-year-old Jacob, probably not so much, but, you know. The little white boy who wanted to be a rapper just like Eminem, he spat some hot bars.
Just like Tom McDonald.
No. No. Don't put that on me.
Also, I don't know if you can hear him through Discord, but say hi to the other special guest, Nacho Fry the cat.
Hi, Nacho.
Hey, Nacho. I mean, that story has a happy ending. Like, you didn't end up like Eminem. That's good.
I don't know. Multi-millionaire? That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah. And all the rest, not so much.
It's hard for me just to grab a boob. Plus my penis got an attitude.
Yeah, man.
Legit Eminem bar. So, it's kind of weird to ask this because I already know the answer, but what have you guys been up to?
I've just been playing the demo for Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection.
Of course.
This game existing is so strange, and now I understand why. I do you guys look at your Steam notifications in the fucking welcome sort of Steam homepage, where like there are news about the games?
Yeah.
Like the little window that opens up when you open Steam?
No, it's like you click on your library once, and then you have
Oh, the what's new tab?
yeah.
Kind of, but it's like I have so many games and so many of them are like live service games I haven't played in like 5+ years, and they flood it. Like I'm looking at it right now: DayZ, The Finals, Destiny 2, Apex Legends, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, Sea of Thieves. I have not played any of these games in so fucking long.
Yeah.
So I basically ignore the tab as much as possible.
I think like a year ago or something, I muted everything except the stuff I cared about. So now it's a bit more curated, but there is still the finals that's here that I haven't played since. But there are all the Monster Hunters, and man, they use both the game Monster Hunter World, both a third. I don't know if you would put it that way, but Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter Wilds, all of them advertising for Monster Hunter Stories 3 with different thumbnails. And so I'm like, damn, it seems the game is selling poorly. Why are they so desperate? Well, I've played 40 minutes of the game, and man, I didn't anticipate that kind of budget.
Yeah.
The game looks fucking incredible. Like, it's... I guess if I had to describe it, it would be like anime HD. Like, imagine a sort of, the anime looks that you have now with like your Genshin Impact or whatever in a 3D open world with some bright color and fairly simple palettes and pretty smooth faces. But somehow the lighting and the character models themselves are more complete. It looks bonkers. Already, I've only played 30 minutes, and the game already gave me access to a whole area with like dozens and dozens of NPCs, kind of the beginning of ReFantasio.
Right.
So, very shocking. I haven't played much of the game, so I won't really talk about the gameplay, since I've spent an hour in the character creation thing. Again, Monster Hunter is just making the best character creators ever back to back.
Classic.
Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of assumed you were playing like a created character, because isn't it like the same character in all 3 games, just
Oh no,
growing up?
not at all. I mean, I understand why you say that because I told you that like the very first game is like kind of kidsy, and then the second game is kind of teen,
Yeah.
and that's true. The third game, the main character is an adult, and they do the tutorial by teaching a new recruit, and you're the one teaching them.
Yeah.
But not at all the same stories or characters. It's they're
Okay.
they're all standalones.
Cool.
At least as far as I could tell.
Uh-huh. So you think the game's not selling well?
Well, I don't know why is it that Capcom is spamming so hard to like make me play the stories free. I mean, I guess that you know how like Kelsey from MinMax has been like, I love RPGs, I love Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter RPG should be up my alley, but I feel meh about stories. Well, I mean, I've been the same. I didn't end up even playing the demo of Stories 2. But now I've had sufficient reasons to be like, okay, I need to give Stories 3 a shot. This seems like a bit of a crazy project. And it is. The game has already started throwing me cinematics that are kind of political, Game of Thrones-like. And I am extremely critical of stories, especially when I love the video games, which is why I hate Wilds so fucking much. I mean, Wilds campaign so fucking much. I absolutely expect to be disappointed by this game, but so far, so good. I was gonna say 2 hours into the game, but I spent more than an hour in the character creation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best part.
Yeah. You got your money's worth.
Yeah.
I didn't play the game, it's the demo version.
Yeah, I know. That was
all
the
you
joke.
need. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like pretty normal for that kind of spam to happen. I mean, like Lincoln and I were playing Borderlands 1 a bit ago, and there were fucking ads for Borderlands 4 in the game.
Yeah. Did you hear about the Borderlands mobile game?
What?
Oh, I did hear it existed yesterday, but I did not look into it. What's going on with that?
I don't know much about it. I guess it got like leaked or put on like the Apple Store early. So I don't know if it's like only for Apple or if that was just the store it got put on. But that was just a video I was watching on it while I was in the shower before getting on. Apparently, gameplay wise, it's not bad. It's just like Borderlands 3 basically, but mobile. And of course, there's fucking
Gacha.
yeah,
Loot
like
boxes.
there's what Vaughn is in it, and he's got a mechanic where you just send him out to get things for you that are on like a timer.
Oh god.
There's like a battle pass. There's all the bullshit.
That yeah, I'm sure that'll do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we say ironically like, oh, that's gonna go well, or because all 3 of us are fucking burnt out on the fucking G bullshit that's been just escalating for the past, I was gonna say 5 years, but it feels more like 10 years now.
Yeah.
It's been around 10 years since Overwatch came out, actually. But
It
how
has.
much are people actually into this, like into those ecosystems? Like, are they getting burnt out at all? Is it just us that are getting old?
That's a
Are
good
new
question.
are new players coming in? Are they like, oh, like are they trying to reach out to new audiences?
I mean, like, not to be rude, but what's your hour count in Uma Musume? Wouldn't you know the answer?
Completely different. They know what they're doing. They're actually skilled. They make me want to spend my money. They're just as evil, but they're good at it.
820 hours in Uma Musume. I mean, who's to say that Vaughn's collectibles aren't as exciting as an Uma pull?
No, but here's the thing: the fucking gacha games and Genshin Impacts and all that stuff, like they're doing good. Except the moments when they're in competition with one another, and they're from the same publisher, which lead to some weird situations. Aside from those moments, like they're doing good, which I'm not saying is a good thing. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's very different from the shit show that led to like fucking Battlefront 2 having these egregious loot boxes, you know, that are completely out of reality in terms of like just basic thinking and understanding of what your market is and who is it you're trying to get money from.
Yeah, but I think like that. I mean, that was also like 10 years ago. So
Oh, Jesus
the
Christ.
because like when we're talking in the mobile space, like Genshin Impact, it makes sense. You know, I think it's one of those things where it's really when you're in it, and you don't feel like just how awful it is. Like when I was in Genshin Impact, I was ready to like drop $200 on my credit card to try and pull the character I wanted. And thank fucking God I stopped playing before he ended up in a banner. The Battlefront 2 audience is just not the same as someone who's playing a game on their phone.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not for like I think this mobile game is probably uh and you know, I have an expert opinion on it because I just found out it existed. This mobile game is not for like people who are playing Borderlands 4. It's for people who recognize the Borderlands IP and just play random bullshit on their phone. Is my
Right.
assumption. So, you know, cuz to me the appeal of a Borderlands is that you grind out to get the shit you need yourself, not that you pay Vaughn to go get it for you. So
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's really like the same audience they're going for. I think they're just trying to capitalize on an IP that people recognize, and maybe even like people who played Borderlands 2 when they were teenagers and had time to play games, and now they're fathers and don't have a fucking PS5, and but they have a phone that they can tap on while they watch their kid play fucking Coco Melon.
Uh-huh. Play Coco Melon.
I'm sure there's a Coco Melon game. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's gotta be. Yeah, the thing that makes me sad about it too, this isn't it's not what I went in to the podcast thinking I'd talk about. But of course like the main character too is another fucking new siren that they've introduced.
Oh, okay.
Which like just makes me sad thinking about the stupid fucking siren lore that Borderlands 4 introduced.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
you guys finished the game.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just the whole like all that lore and how much I like don't care about that universe anymore. I wrote Borderlands fan fiction back in the day.
I mean,
Gee.
you and I basically wrote Borderlands 3 fanfiction together when we like wrote our own version of the story that made it better. I still think that would have been good.
Yeah, Borderlands makes me sad.
Well,
Well, that's
this mobile game will be the resurrection of Borderlands.
this'll
Yeah, that'll
yeah,
save it. Yeah.
this will
That will
reignite
be
your
the-
Borderlands flame. Well, that's it for guys. We'll be talking.
We're gonna go mourn Borderlands.
We're gonna go more in Borderlands and
I want more on it.
sit in our sadness. Fuck you.
I will. Yeah, peace on that boat.
Hey man, there was a golden era.
Yeah.
And now it's golden shower.
Wow. Speaking of golden showers,
Mm-hmm.
the Yakushiki, was that a good transition?
That
Yes,
excellent.
banger.
Yeah.
So no, you know what?
Yeah, the Yakushiki's pretty
Deep
cool.
breath. The Yakushiki's pretty cool. The Yakushiki, of course, being the mobile suit that Char pilots in Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, a
Oh.
series which I have been recently getting into thanks to a couple things, but mostly thanks to Lincoln.
Hell yeah.
Basically, like, I saw a trailer for Hathaway 2, the movie that's coming out in theaters next month, and I basically was just like, this movie looks really cool, and going to see it in a theater would be really cool. Like, what do I have to do to, like, prepare myself for Hathaway 2? So I reached out to Lincoln, my resident Gundam expert, to ask, like, you know, what do I need to get caught up on? And he basically just told me, like, original Zeta, technically double Zeta if you want to get the full timeline, Char's counterattack, Hathaway. And so we didn't really do it in that order. We basically watched like the compilation movies for the original Gundam, which I also wanted to see for a different reason that
Mm.
because I don't know, fucking H Bomber guy wrote a review for the Iron Lung movie in which he referenced the fucking Gundam movies, and so I was like, those sound interesting, and so we watched them together, and then we started watching the first compilation movie for Zeta, and we're just like, what the fuck is going on in
So
these? They were
fucking
really
dog
bad.
shit.
So we kind of skipped to Char's counterattack, and then Hathaway, which we watched when Lincoln came to visit me, which I'll get into later. But I've been actually meaning to ask this because like
Mhm.
my perception of you and your Gundam enjoying was basically that like I knew you had been at least somewhat into mecha before, like you've watched Gurren Lagann, but we never really talked about
Mhm.
mecha that much. And then like my perception is that the trailer for Armored Core 6 came out and you got really hyped for it, and then suddenly a couple months went by and you were like a super mecha fan. Is that accurate?
No, it's like I never grew up as much of a weeb. I've
Yeah.
adapted the lifestyle. Um, so it was kind of like mecha things were in my sphere. But I didn't like really realize how much of a genre that is, I guess.
Right.
Um, like I think it started with the podcast Friends at the Table, because they have like a science fiction season that they do like every other season basically, that's like very much like mecha inspired by Gundam. I've listened to that since like I think since high school, maybe like early
And
college.
and just to clarify, this is like a TTRPG playing
Yes.
podcast.
Yeah, exactly. They obviously kept referencing Gundam to the point where I
Mhm.
was like, maybe I should watch this Gundam show because I really enjoy this podcast.
Yeah.
And I got in, as far as Gundam goes, I got into the gunpla aspect of it before I got into watching the show, really, because I grew up loving Bionicles and
Yeah.
Hell
R.I.P.
yeah.
Bionicle.
R.I.P.
Gunpla felt like the natural evolution to that. I feel like it was like right as I was getting into it that then like Armored Core 6 was announced as the next FromSoft project. And so it was like, fuck yeah, that's my sign. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So it was like somewhat accurate.
yeah. Because I did start off. Well, no, that's not true. I started watching Gundam with Iron Blooded Orphans, I believe. I was like, this is cool, but I keep hearing about this 1 year war. I want to see what that is.
A question about for you, Lincoln. So you got into anime before, like you watched anime before Gundam in general, or is
Oh,
it
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And did you, since you started watching Gundam, did you watch other mecha animes or things that would be in that genre thing?
Well, I watched Gurren Lagann before I watched Gundam.
Yeah.
He's trying to indoctrinate you with Code Geass.
No, I mean, kind of. I do want to talk about Code Geass, but it's not the point here. The indoctrination will happen regardless. I can take my time.
Okay. Okay.
No,
I say that as someone who would also like to indoctrinate you with Code Geass.
I'm down for
yeah,
Code Geass. I've heard good things about it.
yeah. So did you watch other mechas since?
Yeah, I watched it's Armored Trooper Votoms.
Never heard of it.
I I had my ups and downs with it for sure. It was very much like early 80s Gundam is popular. Let's pump out a bunch of shows like Gundam, basically.
Mm.
Um
That was the one you got when we went to Little Tokyo, right?
Yeah,
a
I got a
Votom
scope
thing?
dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
the scope dogs from Votoms.
Hell yeah.
Which is it was very fun. It's like very much like, hey, you like Gundam? Like in Gundam, 50% of the Earth's population died leading up to the 1 year war. In our war, 75% of Earth's population died.
Whoa.
Ooh, escalation.
But it was really good. Yeah, the fucking there was like one like 15 episode arc where it was like just doing the Vietnam War, and I like fell really out of it during that. But then when it got back to like
Like legit?
like they were very clearly in space Vietnam.
Oh, okay. Not like a flashback
Not like the
to the
actual
real
Vietnam War. That would be crazy. I would be much more here for that. But yeah, then like the ending was super cool, and honestly, like once the show kind of came into its own, a lot of the lore they were introducing was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Is there like more Votom? Like, did it become a franchise in even a fraction of the way Gundam did, or is it kind of a one-off thing?
Not a fraction of the way Gundam did, but there's some OVAs.
Okay.
That was actually the reason I got into Votoms. I still haven't watched it yet, but was because I heard there was an OVA that's like about a guy with an anti-material rifle who hunts mechs, and that sounded sick as fuck.
Oh, that does
Damn.
sound sick as fuck.
That does sound sick as fuck. Like, I asked you this question because here's the thing. Like, Code Geass is basically the first.
Uh-huh.
Fuck you, Jacob. Code Geass was the first anime I watched when I discovered the streaming. And then I was like, oh shit, this is my favorite thing ever. And like I got a lot into anime. And like several years later I was like, damn, Code Geass is still my favorite anime. I guess I need to watch more mecha shows. And I didn't end up like I watched a few, but I don't really have that drive of watching mecha animes. So like it turns out like I guess I'm just not into mecha. I just really really like Code Geass, and so I thought if you were kind of the same, that it was less about the mechas themselves than about than the show.
It's like I've always since like a small child been really really into sci-fi. That was like my introduction to fiction. Basically, was like reading my grandpa's old sci-fi novels. So it's kind of like anytime something's happening and it's like in space and people are shooting at each other, I'm having a good time. When it's cool big robots, even better.
Yeah. I mean, I think Code Geass is an interesting one because like it's more of like a show that has mechas in it than it is a mecha show in a lot of ways. But I honestly, like, in my little Gundam experience that I've had, I feel like you could say the same thing about Gundam. I think, like, on the surface, Gundam seems like it's all about the mechs, but, like... And, of course, I only watched the fucking compilation movies for the original series, but it honestly felt like, oh, this is more about being a new type than it is about being a Gundam pilot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like... Granted, I think the original Gundam series, like, if you watch the show, is a lot more, like you were saying about Zeta, how it's, like, the first half of every episode is the plot line, and the second half is the wow, cool robots fighting.
The second half is the toy commercial.
Yeah.
And sometimes they bleed into each other, and I have to lock in, because usually I drop a brain level for when the mecha battles start happening, because if I pay too much attention I get confused because they show the pilots of the Gundams that I'm not supposed to know about, but I go like, who's this mustache guy? Am I supposed to care that he's dying right now? And the answer is always no.
No,
but...
not really. You make me feel better about myself though, because I'd maybe I follow it a little bit better than you, but pretty similarly. But of course, like anywhere online where they're talking about Gundam, just everyone's like, "Oh, that's Clark Gluptor," like fucking same
Of the
as the
Gluptor
people who
family.
the people who could name every background character in Star Wars. Like, you
Right.
can do that for Gundam if you want to.
Yeah. And you saw Escaflowne. That's a
Oh
mecha,
yeah,
isn't it?
Escaflowne was sick as fuck.
That's like a more fantasy with mecha, right?
That's one
Yeah.
of those that I kept popping up. It popped up a lot more than Fully Cooley in my Weeb experience, but I never watched it.
It's
Highly
interesting.
recommend that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, it all started with Gurren Lagann though, because I was like, listening to some podcasts back in the day. They were like made a reference to Gurren Lagann. And they were like, "Oh yeah, that show where you pilot a robot and it plugs into bigger robots until they get to the size of the universe." And I was like, "Well, fuck, I need to watch that."
Yeah. I'm always chasing that Gurren Lagann high.
Yeah,
It made me who I am, honestly.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
Victor referenced Fooly Cooley in his weeb experience because we had recently been talking about how, like, if you want to understand who Jacob is as a person, like, go watch Fooly Cooley. Like, that's that and Gurren Lagann are basically always battling each other for the #1 spot of my favorite anime of all time.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
cause
remember your Yoko body pillow.
Hey man, that we don't talk about that. I was a different person back then.
Body pillow, you say? Interesting. Go
Yeah,
on.
I had a little Yoko Dakimakura, and I liked to pretend that it was Yoko from the end of the series where she's like 20 something.
Yeah.
And because I mean, she does put the same outfit back on when they go to space.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you know, uh,
Sorry, didn't mean to put you on blast.
I did.
listen, I was a different person back then. I was a lot more involved on like online anime spaces than I am now. We took a lot of pride in our degeneracy, and then I like became a real adult and saw the world, and I threw out my Yoko body pillow.
For sure.
So anyways, uh
How did you like Gundam?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it was for you, huh?
what?
I mean, it was your part, kind of thing. It was your experience with getting into Gundam.
Oh yeah, that is what we were talking about. You really threw me off with that.
Sorry.
Looking at the about 40 minutes we've been talking already, I think we're easily gonna hit the 2-hour mark here.
Yeah, maybe. So I whatever point I was gonna make with Fooly Cooley and Gurren Lagann is gone now. Tell me about fucking Lies of P, Lincoln. I have to I'm bracing for pain and hoping for joy.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll start by saying overall, like 7.5 out of 10 for me, which is a much higher score than I thought it was gonna be in my head.
Okay. Okay.
I've got a list of pros and list of cons here, and what would be what's the order that I can go in to soften the blow here? Should I go like pro
Tell
con,
me
pro
cons.
con?
No, just go all cons.
Okay, all cons first. I fucking hate carcasses. I like never had fun when I was fighting them.
Interesting. Okay.
They were like, well, this will kind of bleed into the pros, but like when I first started playing the game, you know, the first few levels are puppets. I've made no secret that, like, I think the ideal Souls-like game for me would be, like, a direct sequel to Dark Souls 1, where, like, everything is a bit slower. Like, maybe you're a bit slower, too, but bosses are predictable.
Also, Dark Souls 2 then.
Listen, I'm a Dark Souls 2 defender. I had a good time.
And just to be clear, Lies of P, that's that Souls-like game where you're like a fucked up Pinocchio, right?
I think so.
Which
that
I
sounds like
say
Lies of
for the
P.
theoretical audience because it's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
So go on. So carcasses. So in the first few levels, you're fighting puppets, and they're like more robotic, right? And they're weak to shock and blunt weapons. And then carcasses are like this weird zombie thing that gets introduced a bit into the game.
Yeah. But, like, the thing about the puppets is that because they're, like, robot puppets, they move with, like, a very... Like, they move robotically, and you can see them wind up and, like, know when they're gonna swing. And, like, especially for, like, the first boss, because the first boss is, like, a really big puppet robot thing. Like, I was having a fucking great time. Like, I was, like, 10 out of 10 game. I see the hype. I love that I can play this, and, like, you know, like, the first time through the boss, I felt like I could, like, read his animations and predict what he was going to do. And even though, like, I enjoy Elden Ring, I have, like, 600 something hours in it, very much getting sick of the bosses that are increasingly, like, I jump up in the air and do a backflip and then hang in the air for 3.5 seconds before I come down and slam. And, like, you really, like, there's no way to predict the movements. You just have to get a sense for the timing by playing it over and over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was having, like, an awesome time with the first couple levels and the puppets. And then the carcass zombies got introduced, and they felt like fucking Elden Ring enemies on steroids to me, where they'd just, like, freeze and then jump at you really quickly, and, like, all of a sudden, like, I, like, could not do the same, like, predictive movements, and the next, like, few levels were only carcasses, and the whole time I was like, I want to fucking fight puppets again, man.
Understandable. I like that dichotomy between them, like, thematically especially, but I understand the critique. They are definitely not as fun to fight as the puppets, because the puppets are for sure what makes the game feel more unique and special, and carcasses do kind of feel more like Elden Ring enemies.
Yeah, and, like, I really like, in theory, that there's those, like, two categories of enemies, and, like, the time, you know, later on in the game, when you get to points where both enemies are fighting you at once, but also fighting each other, is really sick.
And sometimes some carcasses can, like, slither into puppet shells, and they become a mixture of the two.
Yeah, so that is really cool, but definitely my worst time playing the game was in the section where it's, like, only carcasses. So I had a system, I guess, when I would fight the bosses of, listen, when I play games, I have no need to feel macho or feel like I'm playing on the highest difficulty. If I'm getting sick of something, I will turn the difficulty right down. I pulled out the Glock in another Krebs Treasure for a boss I was getting sick of.
Which one?
It was like, I don't even remember. It just kept, like, spawning enemies was what made me get sick of it. It was like some, like, gunk monster that had a move.
The gunk was rough in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but that's also the game where I was like bitching about the lobster and how long the lobster took me, and then you hit me with the, it wasn't actually that hard for me.
Because that was the point where I started doing, like, whatever crazy umami build, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, which is to say that, like, I didn't start out, like, with this as an intentional system, but it did kind of become a system for me to gauge how much I was enjoying a boss, which is how many tries do I take at this boss before... Well, before summoning, which to switch back to a pro, I fucking loved the summoning system in that game.
The summoning system is very good.
Like, it felt like, you know, it was a way to make the bosses a bit easier and get some help, but also, like, they very much did not play the game for you, and if you didn't, like, keep up a constant pressure, your summon would be dead in seconds.
Yeah.
So that was
I'm pretty sure, like, on my first playthrough, I think I summoned for every single boss that you could.
Yeah. And, like,
so
even...
there's no shame from me.
Oh, yeah. Like, even, you know, like, the unique weapons the summons would have that you'd get, like, a preview of what the boss weapon was gonna be for that boss, made it so even, like, my favorite bosses that, like, I could play as much as I wanted, I'd eventually summon because I wanted to, like, see what the summon was like for that boss. But yeah, anyway, I think, with the boss in the cathedral area, which was, like, maybe the first boss after, like, I had been trudging through the carcasses and not having a great time with it.
It's a bad area to be not having a good time already with the enemy types in there, because that area also just sucks.
Yeah, for sure. So that boss
Sorry, because isn't that also the first poison swamp?
I think
in
so.
The game? So you got the double whammy.
There was it was like a mini poison swamp when you fight the puppet of the future for the first time. I had a good time with that.
Yeah, there is that one. But you don't have to go through that swamp, whereas in the cathedral you have to go through it. And you have to fight on the rafters that you fall off of into the fucking poison swamp.
Yes. I did go through the poison swamp in the Puppet of the Future, though. I just fought him while being poisoned the whole time. But yeah, anyway, so not having a good time, I, like, took one try at that boss, and I was like, fuck this, turned the difficulty down to the easiest, summoned the guy, walloped him.
Oh my god, I forgot there was a difficulty mode that got added to that game.
There was only one that when it came out?
Yeah, so there was just the default mode, and then when the DLC came out, which is around the time Lincoln started playing, they added difficulty modes. And they set, like, the original default difficulty was the highest you could set it to.
That I was gonna ask that, because, yeah, there were very much some times where it felt like, you know, like, I changed the difficulty a lot throughout the game. I'd say I spent most of the game on the, like, middle difficulty setting, but there were definitely some times where I was like, I am cheesing through this area, let me turn the difficulty up a little bit. But yeah, so that became, like, a system for me to gauge how much I was enjoying the bosses, was how many tries at this does it take until I go fuck this and turn the difficulty down to the easiest and summon a guy so I can be done with the boss.
Damn, the double whammy.
I would say there were some awesome bosses, for sure, that were, like, mid to later through the game. Like, I loved Romeo. I had a great time with that. But overall, I think as the game went on, I got quicker and quicker to say fuck this boss and be done with it.
That's fair.
What was your favorite weapon?
Oh yeah, that's something else I was gonna say. In the good section is that the weapon crafting system fucking rules.
It does.
I spent most of the game because I was doing like kind of a strength build using the like rocket handle where like a charged attack kind of launches you forwards towards someone with the giant wrench head. So I was like rocketing towards people and smacking them with a giant wrench, and it was really fun.
Yeah, so the
yeah.
way this game works is that you have, other than like special boss weapons, every weapon has like a blade and a handle, and so you can mix and match them. And the blade is basically what's going to provide the damage type and like amount of damage you do, and the handle essentially provides like the reach and the move set. And then
Oh.
each piece comes with its own like special move. There are like supers basically that you can do with them. But in general play, it is, yeah, like handle is your move set and blade is damage. So, which is really nice because you can upgrade the shit out of a blade, but you want to try out a new weapon, and so you don't have to like use a weak ass weapon to try out the new moveset. You just put your blade that you've already upgraded onto the new handle, and that way you can have the best of both worlds. And you can create some stupid fucking shit. Like you can put the most giant blades on like a fucking dagger handle, and so you have like the speed of a fucking dagger but with like the biggest blade possible in the game, and it fucking rules.
Uh
That's sick.
um the only exception being like there are certain combinations that just don't really work as well. Like if you try to put like a bludgeoning weapon on a stabbing handle, it'll just tell you
Yeah.
like this isn't gonna be effective.
Yeah, because yeah, I mean, you can do some meme stuff. Like you won't get the stab. The the stab and bludgeon will kind of cancel them out. But if you want just the quick bludgeoning jab, then that is like still something you could do.
Hmm. I wish that, and I don't know what they would do to do this, but I wish that the weapon crafting system was like just a little bit tuned better, I think, to where it didn't feel like halfway through the game where I was like, well, I'm just going to use the boss weapons actually. Because the boss weapons you cannot customize.
Yeah.
But they come with like much crazier movesets usually. Or even honestly, it probably wouldn't be very balanced. But if they just made it so the boss weapons you could like detach the blade and handle, that would be sick.
That would be fucking insane. Imagine using like the grapple scythe on
Yeah.
like something with a easier moveset to use otherwise.
Uh-huh. But yeah, so for the second like half of the game, my primary weapon was the, I think you get it from literally the first boss, but it's like a cool ass great sword that has like the sick animation where like these little spiky notches come out of the sword if you do like a charged heavy attack.
Uh-huh.
And it has like one of the specials it has is this big like slam down that like makes a trail of explosions out in front of you. And the other one is like in a weapon parry, which I guess to briefly, like, the game has a parry system where I guess more of like a perfect block system where um if you hit block right as the attack is hitting you, you like block all the damage and deal a bit of stance damage to the boss, I think.
Yeah. It's a Sekiro like.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But this sword had like an inbuilt parry that worked more like a Dark Souls parry, where there was like a wind up to the parry, so you had to kind of like play more predictively but if you landed it, it would not only interrupt the boss attack, but you would automatically do like a follow-up strike on it. Um,
Yeah,
and there were
there are a
some,
few weapons that have like a super parry as one of their abilities.
yeah.
Hmm.
So I had some sick moments for that for sure. Like on my last hit on a boss, desperately parrying, and I had managed to interrupt the boss's combo.
Hmm.
So that was really cool. I also briefly used the Golden Lie weapon. I guess, I don't know, kind of spoilers of how you get it.
I love that fucking thing.
Yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, no, I really like the weapon crafting system. To continue down my cons list a little bit. Um, and these cons are all like, I want to note, like, my pros list are things that are like fundamental to the game that I really liked. A lot of my cons are like minor gripes that I had that kind of added up over my playtime.
For sure. I mean, I think it makes sense too, especially in a game like this that's kind of oppressive with like by nature. Like
Hmm.
the cons start weighing really heavily on your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. So I had heard going into the game a lot of people saying like, "Oh, this game has a weapon durability system, but it's like the most well done weapon durability in like games like that, and like it justifies its existence." Uh, I didn't really think it justified its existence. There was, with the exception of maybe one time, there was never a time where I was like, yeah, it's cool that this game has a weapon durability system. Um,
You're wrong. You're wrong. So
Never had
Victor,
a good time with it. Had an
From what
especially worse time when I fought that motherfucking boss that keeps inflicting you with the status ailment that drains
decay
your
that
weapon
decays your
durability.
weapon
Uh-huh.
durability. Yeah, yeah.
so hold on, because when you talked about the weapon system and that like, oh shit, you have handles and blades, and so you can experiment and shit, I was like, that sounds really cool as fuck. But what? Yeah, like the only reason I could think of is very big. I haven't played Lies of P player or talking here, but like the only reason I could imagine of that there is weapon durability with this kind of system is like to make you try other stuff. Which
So,
It's not. No, it is a
yeah.
Monster Hunter weapon durability system.
Yeah.
So
what?
you are meant to back away from the fight to grind to like sharpen your weapon essentially.
Oh,
So
that's not
it's a
okay.
durability quote unquote, but it's really a sharpness
Yeah.
system. So but unlike in Monster Hunter where you can fuck off to another area of the map and sharpen your weapon, you have to like find the microseconds in the battle where you can grind your fucking weapon cuz P has
Mhm.
like a little grindstone in his arm that you just like put your blade in and he grinds it out to sharpen it.
Mm.
Except that it's not fucking microseconds that you need, because the way the sharpening works is like it doesn't linearly sharpen up. It's like for the first few seconds it does not repair it at all, and then the sharpness like shoots up.
Yeah.
Um so
Yeah, for
yeah, I
sure.
just like never found any time where I was like, it's a game that encourages you to be so aggressive that like I'm having fun when I'm aggressive, and why now is it actually you don't be aggressive at all. You need to run away and hide for a couple seconds before continuing to have fun.
For sure. I mean, listen, you are wrong, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're wrong because you're not wrong, but you are wrong.
Yeah.
But because it's really like I think like the sharpness is almost more about encouraging you to parry than it is encouraging you
Mm.
to back away to sharpen your weapon, because if you get that perfect deflect, you do not lose sharpness on your weapon. And in fact, you apply decay to your enemy's weapon, because one of the really cool things is not only do you do stance damage to enemies when you deflect their attacks, but you can also break their weapons, including a lot of the bosses. So, you and the enemies all are both dealing with losing sharpness on your weapon, and that part is really cool for me. And
That
I
is
also
cool.
like the grindstone because you can also get like the special grindstones that apply like uh status effects to your weapon while you grind it. Um of course not if you're using a boss weapon because they can't be most of them can't have statuses applied to them. But yeah, no, I it was definitely like a lot of your cons I kind of agree with, but by time I got to my second playthrough, I was like they were almost a non-factor to me.
Yeah. I think too, like I liked the grindstone applying in effect. Like I used that, but also worth noting that like it that ability wasn't really inherently tied to the grindstone. Like it doesn't apply the effect while you're sharpening it. It's just another button that you press
Yeah.
using the grindstone to apply it.
Yeah, but you can that's where the P organ comes in. And you can unlock the upgrade where these special grindstones do increase your sharpness.
Mm. Um you reminded me of another gripe I had. Sorry, this one wasn't even written on my comp list.
No.
um, there were certain moments. I think the way that you and the enemies both have weapon durability is really sick. The one specific moment where it pissed me off because supposedly it's a mechanic that you and the enemies both have, but it works differently for the enemies than it works for you.
Uh-huh.
Is the like health recovery system annoyed the fuck out of me because for you the way it works is when you lose health, it's like a bloodborne type system where you have a few seconds to attack and like get some of your health back. Um for enemies, they have the same system visually where it like looks like, you know, they have a bit of their health bar that's grayed out or whatever that they could get back. Except for enemies, the way it works is they just get that health back if you haven't attacked them for a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
They have a regeneration thing going on.
which that annoyed the fuck out of me. I'm like, if you're gonna have the same system visually, at least make it so like, you know, enemies get their health back if they attack you or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, I was gonna say, and we've already been going on for a bit, but I was gonna pitch Turn A Gundam to you.
Ooh, okay. I mean, you can always bring us back to Gundam. I feel like I didn't even talk about
Yeah.
Gundam. But also Gundam was meant to be a segue into talking about you visiting,
Oh, gotcha.
but I don't know. This has been the Lincoln and Jacob podcast for like an hour, so we should probably
Yeah.
No,
probably
I'm
move
down
on.
to listen to Lincoln and Jason.
And I can always pitch you Turn A in our own time too. You had just asked me what I liked about it, and then you were like, actually save it for the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All
Right, so yeah, go ahead, keep hurting me. Maybe hurt me a little faster though.
Yeah, alright. Speed round of cons. Here of my other cons. I was
Faster,
annoyed.
finish the job.
Stop, he's already dead.
I was annoyed that the game taught me how to jump, and then there was like never a reason to jump
Yeah.
after that. Like the amount of deaths I had because I was like, oh cool, this must be a jumping puzzle, and then it wasn't and I couldn't make the jump.
Yeah, there's like maybe 2 rickety bridges you have to jump across in the entire fucking game.
The items, like not the items in the chest, the items in chests were usually cool, but the random items that required you like going out of your way or doing like some sort of platforming never felt worth it to get. I really liked those like puzzle containers that you could unlock. that like gave you a little hint of where to go to like get some secret like outfit or something. But some of them were fucking stupid. Like the one that was like search the ground near this area, and I like went there. I was like, I know I have the fucking area right. Like this has to be the right area.
Oh, like
And
the postcards. Yeah.
And I was like looking around forever and could not figure it out, and finally Googled what I was doing wrong, and it said I had to do the literal search ground emote while I was there.
Whoa.
And also I hate the weapon clanking system while the weapon clanks off walls. Like it's like way too aggressive, I felt like. Whereas like in like Dark Souls 1, it's like, okay, you can't like swing your sword in a wide arc or it will clank off the walls. But there were times where like literally like I had a thrusting weapon that I'm not like swinging, I'm stabbing forwards. But because I was close to a wall, it like clanked off the wall. Like,
P's fat fucking elbows could not get past the wall.
Yeah. But yeah, so I talked about summons, weapon crafting's awesome. Fucking, I love the system where it reminds you about quests that you have in an area. Like there's a little
by
picture.
putting their face next to the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that too.
Yeah, the puppets I found really fucking fun to fight. I went into the game like hearing that it was a pretty linear game, and so I was like expecting the level design to not be super fun, but it actually was really fun to like kind of circle around and find like little hidden paths to shortcuts and stuff like that. Love the little quality of life options, like how if you're out of health files, doing damage will like recharge your last health file.
Hell yeah, brother. I love that system. That's one of those where like every Souls-like feels empty without it for me now.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like coupled with most of the game I used an amulet that had like gave you a small chance not to consume a health file.
Yeah,
when
that
you
one's so
consumed it.
good.
So it was like the moments during a boss where I'd like get my health file back and then like be able to heal and still have one more health file because that amulet triggered. Were really cool.
So good.
And I mean, just like, yeah, the whole world was really cool and unique. Like, I don't know whose fucking idea it was to make a Pinocchio Souls-like, but very cool world building.
I still have no fucking idea what the fuck this must be to go through, but
I mean, it's
does sound
fucking
intriguing.
awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I compared it when you were playing the game to like Pluto by Urasawa, which is a like more serious adaptation of an arc from Astro Boy, which is itself a kind of pseudo Pinocchio adaptation. So that is like and to the point where like one of the characters in Lies of P is just straight up a fucking Pluto reference and you can't tell me otherwise.
Okay, now I really want to play it. I love Pluto.
You should. Yeah,
Yeah.
Pluto's like, I mean, I think here, fucking Urasawa tangent. I think Pluto of the Urasawa manga I read is like probably the best. I don't think it has the highest highs of like 20th Century Boys, but I feel like 20th Century Boys and Monster kind of like have a I guess I'm done now kind of endings where Pluto is just like fucking kills it all the way through. But yeah, no, you definitely should play Lies of P. It's like Pluto Dark Souls. It fucking rules.
Yeah. Mechanically, I'd say like I went in thinking like Dark Souls like kind of. It's very much Bloodborne too to me.
You know, people say that. I think aesthetically, yeah, but for me, it's Sekiro too. But I guess you didn't play
Fair.
that much Sekiro.
Yeah, I didn't get that far in Sekiro. But yeah, between the world aesthetically and the like aggressive play style kind of, which I'm saying, I'm realizing like that might also be the difference where I felt Bloodborne-y because I felt encouraged to play really aggressively and I didn't spend much time parrying. But I'm sure if you parried a bit more, it would feel more Sekiro-y.
Yeah, I mean the sauce in Sekiro is that defense is offense. And so that's where I find the evolution from like Bloodborne to Sekiro to Lies of P really fucking works for me, where it's like just be in their face, and whether you're attacking or defending, either way you're fucking them up. And I love
Right.
that.
And speaking of Sekiro.
Speaking of
Oh.
hurting Jacob, much like Gurren Lagann and Fooly Cooly are in constant competition for which is my favorite anime of all time in my brain, you could say the same thing between Lies of P and Sekiro. So, Lincoln has played Lies of P, and Victor has been playing Sekiro. Why don't you tell us a bit about that and, continue hurting me, I'm assuming.
Uh, Honestly, I fucking love Sekiro.
Let's fucking go.
So-
Fuck you, Lincoln. Get the fuck out of here.
Like, okay, I think I would start with the. I think I will start with the bad, or at least the stuff that I had trouble with. I had to start the game again because I died so fucking much at the beginning. I had the plague. I had the fucking plague on 2 of my characters, and I didn't kill the fucking ogre.
There was someone that you gave the plague that I didn't know it was even possible to give the plague to.
Yeah. So and the reason is because there is, I think, the first boss that does red attacks, and I think I didn't read properly the tutorial because I was still trying to parry it or dodge it, and it took me like, I think he killed me 9 or 10 times in a row before I like learned that, oh, it's something that I need to jump.
To be fair, if you're talking about the ogre, that thing probably killed me more than
No,
10 times.
Some dude with a sword. It's literally the first one. The ogre killed me 10, 20 times.
Yeah,
Killed it.
I was expecting to be hurt because like the only experience we've really shared with Victor's Sekiro time is that I was watching him fight the ogre.
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
rough. It was rough
That's
to
a
watch.
rough one, for sure.
It was rough to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, the ogre isn't a good boss. Is all I can say.
Yeah.
I ended up watching a cheating strategy on YouTube, which worked.
Yeah. So like I want to like interject with my history of Sekiro just a little bit. So actually, when the game came out, I played it all the way through, and I did not like the game. Like I came out of it with a pretty negative feeling, and like every time I would be like, I should love this game. Why don't I? I'm gonna try replaying it. I would get to the ogre and be like, oh yeah, I hate this game, and stop playing it. It wasn't until a friend of Lincoln and I's basically bet, I think both of us, right? Or well, he bet you something else. But
Yeah.
he bet me if I went back to Sekiro and beat the game that he would buy Elden Ring for me.
I got a better deal. I only had to beat the first boss of Sekiro for him to buy Elden Ring for me.
You only have to beat the first boss?
Yeah, I had to beat it that night, though, to be fair. I had one night to beat it.
But also first boss as in Gyobu, I'm assuming? Not a
Yeah.
mini boss? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did, and then like during that process, it was literally the mindset shift that I had just described with like Sekiro and Lies of P that made me fall in love with the game, is because I like watched people speedrun the game a little bit, and I had remembered a lot of my difficulty with the game was like unlearning Souls like mechanics, because you really have to change how you play if
Yeah.
you're a longtime Souls player.
Dodging isn't good. You
No,
should
dodging
never
is
dodge almost.
trash. It doesn't work. So I basically went back into the game, with the mindset of like be in their face and never fucking leave their face. And doing that, like I just fell in love with the game. And so now it's one of my favorites of all time. But like totally relatable with the ogre, because that was one of the things that kept me from it for so long, was I would play it and be like, yeah, I guess this is all right, and then I'd get to the ogre and I'd fucking rage quit. He has fucking
So-
Marth grabs. It's not fair.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And another boss that I really fucking hated was the fucking flaming bull.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah.
And it's another one that I was like just not having fun fighting, and so I again watched on YouTube how they did it, and it wasn't quite a cheating strategy, but it was a strategy that like, oh, draw him in the place where he has less space to move, which is a bit farther in the back. Uh, Move around on his ass, use firecrackers as you can, and then just kill him on his health. Do not engage with the parry system in this
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, that was how I ended up like beating him, just kind of on my own, being like the only thing that's working is chasing his ass and attacking his health, and I won. And I was just like, that cannot be how you're intended
No,
to
no,
fight
that's
this guy.
that's how it is.
I think it is. I think it's supposed to be a boss that teaches you that parrying isn't always the right answer and you should be considering maneuvering, but I don't think it was the right boss to teach you that lesson. So how far did you get in Sekiro? Cuz you haven't beaten
Well,
it, right?
No, I haven't beaten it, and I haven't taken it back. And this is why I wanted to do a tangent between that and Fire Emblem Echoes. I haven't continued since I beat the Guardian Ape.
Okay.
It's just that because I've been playing Sekiro, and I've also I've been trying to play games in my bed and to like do kind of comfort food things. And so I started playing Fire Emblem Echoes again, which is, if you ask, depending on my mood at the time of day, I will tell you that it's my favorite game of all time. Um, but and I've been playing that game too, and it's like I have just it just didn't. I got really far into the game in Fire Emblem Echoes, and despite having other reasons and other fun stuff to do that I wanted to do, like I couldn't finish it. I just wasn't in the mood. And the same thing happened with Sekiro. Like I ended up dropping the game just because like I don't uh it's been kind of rough for me lately, and I don't feel like doing this kind of stuff, playing. I don't even have a really logic of like this kind of games, because those two games are completely different, but it's just I wasn't in the like super gaming mood, and so I didn't end up playing them.
Mhm.
Like these days, all I play are the Monster Hunter I started with you guys, and Uma Musume, and I'm trying other games to trying to get back in the mood. But it didn't work. But there are some games that I have completed since, um that I will talk after, because I feel like I need to talk about Sekiro a little bit more.
Did you know about the head of the ape?
Yeah, you asked me before, and yes, I did, because I watched Telefab.
Mm.
I listened to Elfab, and they ranted about the ape so fucking much for the Game of the Year debate. However,
Crazy that you have that much memory of what they said on that podcast.
I guess I don't know. My sister also tells me that I have crazy memory, so I guess that's something I have. But I did manage to, because I was playing on the couch and my sister was chilling on the side. I acted like I didn't know what was coming, and I didn't tell her about the head, and so she
Oh,
got
okay.
spooked.
Nice. That's
So
awesome.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
so that worked out.
Yeah, I have like the kind of dumb memory where like if I take notes on something or you remind me of something, like it'll come back immediately, but I need that reminder of things. So like first time I played Sekiro, I had already seen plenty of videos where people like react to the ape getting back up. But of course, I fucking forgot until it started happening, and so I get to have the double experience of like, oh my god, what the hell's happening, and the like, oh yeah. So,
Damn.
it's a kind of fun memory to have sometimes.
It sounds like it. I'm jealous.
There, like, remember that time we were talking about Slay the Princess, and you were like, what was the villain trying to do? And I was like, I don't fucking know. And then you started describing it, and I was like, oh yeah. And then I could write the whole wiki entry on it once you reminded me, but I needed the spark of memory back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's something about Sekiro that I wanted to talk about. The bosses like that, like the flaming bull and like the ogre and stuff. It's like we've talked about it while we were playing Dark Souls, but there is something about the From Software philosophy of making boss that is kind of shared with Monster Hunter that I really like, and it's that rather than being the bosses being built around being balanced and fun fights, they're first and foremost being built around their personality. So like the flaming bull will act like a flaming bull and panic and run around all the time and charge at you. It isn't, and if that happens to not be a fun fight, then fuck the player because
Mhm.
it is designed to be first and foremost like uh the boss acting like the boss. And in the same way, in Dark Souls, there are certain bosses that are giants and they just do super huge swipes that feel undodgeable. And it's like, it's not a problem of design. Like, sure, the things are undodgeable, but like, the designers felt strongly that the boss should first and foremost act like itself before acting like, you know, a boss that is very accessible to the player, aka the fucking Resident Evil bosses with the big yellow thing that's telling them how to beat them.
Hey, listen, I will not allow Resident Evil to catch strays right now. You back the fuck off.
Too late.
Going too hard on Jacob.
Yeah, leave me alone. You know what? I'm adding Slay the Princess to this document. Anyways,
Yeah?
I agree. I love that about the design philosophy in these games, because it's like you're you're the one stepping into their territory. You fucking deal with it.
Mhm.
I love
And
that.
I mean, and then there is the complete other side of the coin, which are the bosses that are actually amazingly designed, and it's like the fucking Genichiro neuron activation moment.
Uh-huh.
That fucking fight, like, if there's something that, like, I know if I come back to Sekiro and don't do a new game, which I probably will do, but if I don't do a new game, the first thing I will do is come back in my memories and fight Genichiro again.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
It
Yeah,
just, it
the
fucking rules.
ever since I played that game, like every boss in any video game ever is like, oh, is this the Genichiro of this game? Like that is the thought process I go into it with.
Yeah.
Cause it really is the hard block of like, have you learned how to play this game yet? No, get your ass back downstairs.
Yep. Totally. The universe itself is like the grim Japanese thing. I didn't expect how hard fantasy it would get until I got to the snake.
Uh-huh.
And the snake fucking rules. I love that. Like at first, I was at first it was like, oh, this looks like a God of War on the rails kind of things. I don't know if I'm into this, but then I realized that, oh, if I mess up this snake section, the snake will actually kill me. It's not on the rails. I need to actually think this through. And you know what? I ended up doing it first try.
Hell yeah,
And
brother.
it felt so fucking satisfying because the more the farther I got without getting into a checkpoint, the more I was like, damn, I really want to do this first try. I
Yeah.
really.
I think that our friend Jacob was really smart with his bets that he made both of us, because it got you back into it, and for me, in order to get to Gyobu, you have to I mean that's like 5 hours into the game. Like you have to
Yeah.
Definitely go
Yeah.
through the snake section to get there, which was really fucking cool.
I had to play the game again to get to Gyobu, god damn it.
Well, I think Victor's actually talking about the second snake section, right? In the like ape mountains.
No.
Oh, never mind then.
You spoiled me.
What?
So, because you have to sneak past the snake, to get like to the next area earlier on in the game, but you have to re-encounter the snake to get a item you need, in like the latter half of the game.
Yeah, I'm talking about the first one where you stab its eye.
Oh well, let me tell you, second one's even better.
Oh, damn it. Okay. I mean, I expected to encounter it again.
Mm-hmm.
The grimy Japanese style with like so you get a lot of samurais and shinobis at first, which is kind of to be expected, but then you get the weirdly disformed big guys. You get the lots of gunpowder machinery and weapons. You get gunpowder rifles really early on. I love the fucking set piece with the valley with the snipers that are just
Uh-huh.
fucking smoking you from what feels like a kilometer, and all of that makes me think a lot about Kenshin
Don't
Impact.
say it. Don't say
Yeah,
it.
I know, but I still I need to be honest.
Rurouni
Samurai
Kenshin.
X.
I mean those sniper guys especially just look identical to a character in fucking Rurouni Kenshin. I was gonna say the same thing because they have a similar vibe of like starting off with a kind of, oh, it's just like a historical samurai thing, and then like slowly implementing more and more like fucked up
Insanity.
fantasy elements. But we don't talk
Yeah.
about Rurouni Kenshin.
No, I would. I mean, the author is a fucking piece of shit pedo guy. That's a fact. But what's also a fact is that like Rurouni Kenshin is like part of my childhood, and
Yeah.
like I can't help but think about Rurouni Kenshin when I play this game, and I don't feel bad about it. Like I don't know. It became part of me, and therefore being a huge piece of shit doesn't change that. And
Yeah, no. I got lucky enough that like I've grown up around Rurouni Kenshin. Like it's always been there. You know, I used to read all the like English Shonen Jump magazines that would come out, and like he would always be in there. But I never really got into it. So I got lucky enough to like be somewhat knowledgeable about it, but not be emotionally attached to it,
Yeah.
you know?
The gunner guys just remind me of those Princess Mononoke people.
Oh, that too.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And thankfully, Hayao Miyazaki has never done anything controversial.
Yeah, he's a totally stand-up guy who's never like walked out on his son's movie and called him a
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so
Sekiro fucking rules.
Mhm.
But and so does Fire Emblem Echoes. But I hope that the next quarterly I will get to talk about it properly because I will have played it again by now. By then, I don't
Mhm.
know. I hope. But yeah, I was just not satisfied. I guess I was missing on something. And the thing is, like, I've been really frustrated with my work lately because on one hand, it's something that's not interesting for me. It's really tech bros work, is how I would put it, and not even for like being used by actual people, just so that you have cool projects, so that someone else can sign in your phone and show on their pedigree that hey. I'm an active person that has financed this project, so that the European Parliament room conference can have automatically tracked cameras and shit.
Yeah. It's like a portfolio building busy work kind of job.
Yeah, but you're building over how
Yeah,
people's
someone
portfolio.
else's portfolio, yeah.
Yeah, someone else that invites you on a one-on-one for a cafe, and then starts doing the most insane racist rant you've heard yet.
Oh, good.
I know you're listening to this. Fuck you.
Let's all talk shit about our bosses right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I can definitely see like being in that slump, not being able to play a game like a Sekiro especially, because you really have to be like locked in to get anything out of that. I don't know how Fire Emblem is, but
Oh, at the end of the game, you need to be locked in. So yeah,
yeah. So
I guess
yeah.
that's the point in command. I didn't really think it through. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm.
that makes sense to me. I don't need to be locked in for playing Monster Hunter. I've played thousands of hours of those games. I know how they work.
Yeah, it's easier to like do something more active when you have company also. I would
Yeah.
assume. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, it's just I've been also playing a lot of Monster Hunter on my own.
Oh yeah, you've done
To
all the
change
village
that to it.
shit.
Yeah, I'm doing all the village shit, upgrading all the weapon paths, which needs a lot of grinding when you like upgrade several. So 14 weapon paths at the same time.
Uh-huh.
But it's been fun, and also with my weird setup I get to play it on Steam Deck.
Nice. That's good.
So that works out. Of course, and obviously, like the game that has been carrying me this year is Uma Musume.
I can see that.
It's carried me so hard it made me buy a touch like shit. How do you call it in English?
Right, just a tablet.
Yeah, a tablet. It's the same word in French. I just completely forgot. Yeah, it made me buy a tablet because I don't want to spend more time on my PC that I have to. Which is another part of my job that I hate is that especially since last year, like I've been just locked at home, and it feels like COVID all over again. Except that I don't. There's no COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And my living room is this weird space where I have to do stuff for work, but also do my enjoyment stuff. Like working from home is cool, like the first 2 months, but then it's like I need to get out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, but the thing that has been frustrating me, so like work wise, and that's making me think about what I really want to do about the future, is like I actually really enjoy making stuff. I just need that stuff to matter, or at least to be interesting to do or to make. And there are those games that I've kind of started playing because they've been pitched to me as like games that teach you programming, and that's the Zachtronics games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And
shit.
yeah,
That's
and
so the game I'm working on is directly inspired by Zectronics.
hell yeah, okay.
I-
Is it the one that you've with the demo you've shown us, or that's something
yeah,
else?
yeah.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
because the designer of that game is just a fucking insane programmer, so it makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that was exactly his like he wanted to make a game to kind of teach what he does at work.
Yeah, and that's what the Zachtronics games are. And my experience with them is that usually I would play them like the 2/3 way through until the puzzles got really hard, and then I tried another Zachtronics game, and like that I played a few. I played Shenzhen EO. I played not in chronological order. I played Shenzhen EO first, which was probably a bad call because that game is hard as fuck. But I ended up going pretty far into it, thinking about on it. I played Last Call BBS. I played Opus Magnum. I'm pretty sure I played the fourth one that I can't remember the name of. Oh, I mean, I don't know if it counts, but Eliza is a Zachtronics game, but it's not at all. It's just a visual novel.
Hmm.
Mm.
But it fucking rules. You guys should play it. Everyone should play Eliza. It's gotten even more relevant now.
Yeah, all of these games you're mentioning are games I had never heard of before until the programmer told me about them as being inspirations for the game. But
Mm-hmm.
I, you should. They're great games. um, but yeah, and so what I did this time is that I wanted to. The first thing first, the first thing is like, oh, there's the new latest Zachtronics game, which is not actually Zachtronics that's made it, but it's by guys in the Zachtronics teams that made Opus Magnum specifically, and that's Kaizen: A Factory Story. And so I've played that game, and it's interesting because that I'm playing it at this time of my life because Kaizen, it is much more lighthearted than the other Zachtronics games when it comes to its narrative, to its story. You would expect puzzle games like this to not have a story, but they fucking do, and it's great. But it always plays the same tricks that like, oh, you're the new guy, and you are kind of thrown into this industry and you're making stuff now. And Kaizen, the factory story, is like this story about this fucking guy that is hired by a Japanese company. He's American, and he arrives and he's supposed to get into sales, and he's pretty much going pressed into starting in the engineer branch because they're like, we're showing you stuff around. Hey, here you can do this. It's very easy to do. And then all of a sudden, the boss asks them to do a big project, and they're like, David could handle the construction part. So at first it very much feels like, oh, that's a nightmare real life simulator. But then it turns out, as you, the player, keep actually committing to the bit and making stuff, the story progresses, and it's like, oh, that David guy is actually not only he's kind of into making stuff, but also was never really into sales. He just followed where his life path led him. And what happens towards the end of the game is that other characters that are like your colleagues are like asking you, hey, what is it that you want to do? Like when you're a junior, we make you do and try a bunch of stuff because that's how things work. That's how we figure out how you fit into this whole thing we call a company. But also, the reason we got this far isn't like there is this nice speech, I think, from one of your senior colleague, which, by the way, all the game is fully voice acted in English, which I thought was weird at first since it happens in Japan. But then in the credits, like all of the characters are like American Japanese. At least they have Japanese names, but they clearly fluently speak English. So it's like I think they are either they are Americans that married into Japanese or the opposite. And like he gives this really nice speech that like people in the West believe that it's because of the samurai spirit or whatever that Japan has grown this much. It's because the game is happening in the 80s, 90s. But I don't think that's and he goes on and to say that he doesn't think that's the case. He thinks that it's just we enjoy making stuff. Sure, things get rough here and there, but we enjoy what we are doing. And it really hit me because it's like, oh yeah, I guess where I am at my company right now is that I have fucked around and tried some stuff, and it turns out that I am not doing what I just really want to do, and that's why I'm unhappy. And it's like, it's really baby's first. It feels like this game, it feels like the story content of this game could be taught to kids in high school of like, hey, this is what actual company work is about in terms of societal stakes and what is expected of you.
Yeah.
And me, 25 years old, being like, damn, this game is cooking. And it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's pretty normal. Like we were just talking about how I went to see Kiki's Delivery Service in theaters recently, where that's a movie like I saw that as a kid and I was like, this is fucking boring, like whatever. But it's always been one of the pretty higher ranked Ghibli movies, and so it came out in IMAX and I watched it and I was like, damn, this movie goes so fucking hard. And it is really just because it's like, hey man, working fucking sucks if you're not liking what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we're going through a similar phase. So yeah, no, I've been very much having that too with like just the music I've been making, like particularly for the game I'm working on, which I don't know if I want to say too much. I'm not sure like how much I can say about it right now. Because it's pretty early cycle, but yeah, just all the shit I've been doing. It's like it just feels like, oh, this is kind of what I was meant to do. I feel like.
Yeah, and I would love to fully transition into that talk, unless you have any last words on Kaizen Factory and all that.
Well, this is what these games are about, and all I wanted to say is that I finally managed to hit credits on not one but two Zachtronics games by doing the puzzle, all the puzzles. I mean, not the new Game Plus ones, but I did all the ones, including the ones that I struggled on, and I got some really good scores on them in the community ratings in terms of how I did them, and it's like it goes to show that like not only I want to program, because these games are just to very quickly present the programming metaphor to people that don't know the electronics games. Like they're puzzle games, quote unquote, but they're really not, because the point of a puzzle game is that you figure out what you need to do to get to that result. You literally, put jigsaw puzzles pieces together. I guess it's not the correct things, because in video games it's very much like figure out what order of levers you need to put in to open the gate, and the game will give you clues as to what is the correct order of levers. I'm pulling an example out of my ass. In Zachtronic games aren't like that at all, because they're like introducing you a system which allows you to make stuff. In the case of Opus Magnum, it's like you're making alchemical atoms that take geometric shape. The game gives you a target objective, like what kind of atoms and what kind of shapes they are supposed to make. And then it's up to you to figure out how you want to get to that result. And there are dozens and dozens of ways to get to the same result. Certain ways that are more optimized than others in certain ways. And yeah, that's what programming is about. You can do one thing 1,000 ways because it's all a bunch of zeros and ones. But the act of programming is about conceptualizing something inside of your head and making it birth into reality, kind of. And finishing those games pretty easily, kind of. At the same time, it satisfied my itch to do programming that I liked for fun, but also it like validated that like, this is kind of what I meant to do. And also, like, I've gotten better over the years since I've started in video games.
So on that note, which is a great thing to leave, and then I can cut back to because I have to pee so bad, but I will be continuing on that note. I'm so sorry. I need to stop drinking water.
No,
I'm literally leaving my cup outside of the room because I can't stop drinking water.
Drinking water is good.
Yeah.
But I keep having to interrupt you so I can piss.
No, I need to pee too.
Me. You waited for me.
Okay, fine.
You're
fine.
Truth to the people here.
All right, BRB.
Yeah, same. Shaw! Did my microphone pick up me flushing the toilet? I'm seeing a spike on the audio.
I hope so. I didn't hear it, but I want it to be included in the podcast as the transition sound.
Oh, good. Yeah. Did you watch, when you watched the original Gundam, did you watch the movies or the TV show?
The TV show. We watched it with my sister.
I meant to bring up during the Gundam talk, but forgot that the fucking, like, the eye catch that they do, that's like, where they go, Shaw! If you know what I'm
when
talking
is that?
about. It's like the eye catch in the, like halfway through every episode, it like plays a little music thing, and then people go, Shaw!
Yeah. Shaw!
In what?
Shaw! Shaw!
Shaw!
You missed out.
Shaw, Jacob.
You missed out on the TV show of the original Gundam. I meant to say something about that as a transition sound. That like eye catch in every episode is a little music and then people going Shaw.
Damn, I really did miss out. I mean, I don't think anything will ever top Full Metal Alchemist for the eye catches, but you know, that sounds like a close second.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what did Fullmetal Alchemist do? Is it the
At
original
least,
one or Brotherhood?
no, in Brotherhood. I mean, maybe it. Man, I don't remember original enough, but every eye catch in Brotherhood they say the Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh yeah, right.
But they
Oh,
also,
yeah.
but they will also say it like according to the tone of the scene that just ended or the scene that's about to start.
That's
So
it.
sometimes it'll be like Full Metal Alchemist, and sometimes it'll go literally from that to Full Metal Alchemist, and it's incredible.
Full Metal
awesome.
Alchemist.
And since, you know, no one's watching this shit on TV, you're never like getting commercials between them. It's just Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist, and then the show resumes, and it's incredible.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
So-
I need to watch it again.
True. Skip those first 10 episodes, though, man.
I like it.
Read the manga and then tell me you like them.
Eh.
Listen. This is a 27-volume series turned into a 64-episode anime. 7 volumes are condensed into those first 10 episodes. Fuck that. Fuck them for that. I hate them for that. Fuck Bones for that.
I guess I need to read the manga again, actually.
Yeah, that's what you should do. So anyways, on that note, do you think like playing those games led you into the modding, or is that kind of a happy coincidence that those kind of happened around the same time?
No, I think it led me to that. So basically what happened is like a DLC was announced for a game that I've played hundreds of hours of, which is Grand Blue Relink, and I jumped back on it, and then some other friends jumped back on it, and so I put a solid over 50 hours of play into it. But I was kind of frustrated because it's a game where you basically have, in a Monster Hunter fashion, other characters you can build, which in Monster Hunter would be like weapons. And so I wanted to try out other characters, other gameplays. But building out a character for them to be fit for end gameplay, end game content, it takes fucking forever, and it's extremely grindy, and it's not fun. I'm fighting the final boss or whatever kind of grindy. It's like the optimal way to do it is to farm little bosses in less than a minute, which is really annoying. And so I was like, how hard could it be to mod my own table drop for this game? I mean, no, my first reaction was, I bet there is a mod for that to help me with the drop rate. But then I didn't find it. And so I was like, fine, I'll do it myself. And yeah, it was a bit of an adventure, but I managed. I made my first mod for a video game, and it's a mod that changes the drop rate tables so that you get your worth of good loot to farm other characters when you fight in game bosses.
Yeah, very deserved.
Yeah. And so you're both kind of going through, as you know, Lincoln alluded to earlier, just that like starting to do what you were meant to do and realizing like you need to start doing that soon.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know how much I can really say about this game I'm working on right now. But essentially it's like a Zachtronics game type, a Zach-like, we've been calling it. Where, like, the idea, I guess the hook of it is giving it a bit more kind of like story and world building. So the idea is you like wake up on like an abandoned and broken down spaceship. The puzzles are all like kind of presented as like various problems with the ship that you need to like do like wiring and programming kind of logic puzzles to solve. like you had mentioned, like there's always going to be, a ton of different ways you can solve everything. And the goal is that we have like a little kind of AI companion guy who we want to like write in a lot of different responses from him of like ways he can respond to various ways you might try to solve a puzzle.
That sounds really cool. And like you as the guy making the sound and the music, like you feel like that's what you're meant to do, and like how do you project yourself in the future, kind of?
Yeah, like I'm definitely I want to go into music and sound design, particularly for video games. I think like it kind of started. I feel like the journey really started when I like coincidentally basically got on as like a composer for Terraria mod, Macrocosm. Shout out if I don't know how we're gonna do this pod. I don't know how YouTube works, but I see sometimes where it's like instead of one channel posting a video, it will like say the videos by multiple channels. If we do that with my channel and we have a viewer who's probably one single viewer who's subscribed to me from my Terraria Macrocosm music, then hello, welcome.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm also working on Macrocosm. I'm working on a song right now.
I mean, that one viewer of your channel would like significantly multiply the viewership of ours, so
Yeah.
we're really just using you for reach.
Yeah, my 100 subscribers.
That's 10 times as many as we have, and our subscribers are just us and our significant others.
But yeah, so basically, like, I kind of started working on that, and I enjoyed it, but also, like, that was kind of the first time I feel like where I got the, like, the change from, like, okay, I'm making music and this is fun for me, to, like, random strangers on the internet giving me positive feedback about my music, But anyway, so it kind of grew from that to, like, the people who I'm working on this game with are, for the most part, people from that modding project, too. So we all kind of, like, knew each other a bit. Kind of, I don't want to say broke off, because we're all still, like, working on both projects. But, went on to try to start this game, and that's where I feel like I've really like it's got its hooks in me, where like I love writing music. I've always, well, since I like kind of started learning music, have loved writing music, but the combination of that with like any white boy my age, I grew up playing video games, and it's very cool to like combine my knowledge of music with video games specifically. Like, it really changes the way that I go about doing my music. There's a program we use called Fmod that essentially it like integrates all audio, music, sound effects, and everything with the game much easier. Like, everything it does, I'm sure you could do if you were, like, a good musician and a programmer, and you could write the code to make it interact. But it does it in a way that, like, me with my dumb art brain can just, like, easily make music interact with, like, I create a variable, and then the programmer takes that variable and, like, integrates it in the game really easily. But yeah, it just like completely changes the way I can write my music, because as opposed to like writing one big track, now I've got like I can play both kind of vertically with like different layers in the music that can get added and taken away dynamically as the game goes on. And also horizontally different. If I want to, I can have it programmed in so something happens and now the music skips to like a different section, or like for example, the way I've written the music for the tutorial is like as you progress through the tutorial, like as you solve the puzzles, different layers get added into the music. Like it'll add like a piano layer, And then I think like some more synths as you like complete the next level. And I don't even know like how noticeable this will be in the game because the tutorial's not done yet in the game. But basically the whole time it's been looping like 2/3 of the song. And so then once you get to like the final stage of the tutorial, kind of like the song opens up and now like it loops the whole song, including like the finale of the music, basically.
Hell yeah.
It's been very fun. I've kind of grown into like doing the sound effects too.
Your sound effects piss me the fuck off, Lincoln.
Thank you. I take that as a high compliment.
Because it is. Because, like, listen, I've never used any hyperbole when like complimenting your music. It's genuinely fucking amazing. And then like you started showing off some of the sound effects you had been working on, and I'm like, how the fuck are these that good too? Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you? I hate you for
real.
that.
Well, thank you. It really like I think it it comes from my knowledge too of music of like I know like I've got a palette basically of effects that I go to when I want to like edit the sound design of my music. So it's kind of a natural transition to being able to like hear a sound effect and being like, okay, this is what effects this needs and how to try to build it.
Yeah, but even when you described like the ideas you had to add stuff to it, like recording the fucking fan on the PS4 I gave you for one of your sound effects, like how do you come up with that?
Literally, yeah, it's like a process of me thinking like, okay, here's the basic sound I need. Like a lot of times I'll even make the sound with my mouth to kind of try to like get an idea
Yeah.
of the basic sound. And then I literally just rummage through my house looking for shit that can do that.
An anecdote of the making of Monster Hunter for the flapping of the Raphalos of the first dragon in Monster Hunter. They made the flapping of the wing by opening and closing an umbrella.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no,
yeah.
like that's exactly it. I feel like you kind of get like, okay, here's what sound I want. Like what do I have around me that can achieve that? Like for a locker sound too. Like I wanted it kind of creaky as the locker's opening, and I have an old Bionicle on my desk that I'm looking at that has a creaky joint. So it's like, oh, let me record the joint creaking.
Hell yeah, that's so fucking cool.
It really is.
But yeah, it's been really interesting, like learning and the ways. So yeah, not only like writing music and making sound effects, but the ways the two interact with each other is really interesting to me too. Like not to try to pitch myself to future game developers who might be looking to hire me, but
Do it. I'm sure they're listening.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like there's just so much I can do, I feel like, when I have like total control of the audio in the way I do with this project. Where for example, like a sound effects can be either pitched or unpitched, basically. To like not go into it too hard. Like an unpitched is like a like a clap or like drums essentially, whereas a pitched might be like a piano or a synth or even like just any sort of sound effect that has a note that it plays. And when you work with pitched sounds, you don't have to be, but I think it helps to be really careful with the way it interacts with the music. You have to like try to make sure the sound is in the same key as the music. Which I'm building a system right now to like try and automatically detect what key the song that's playing in the game is, and then any sound effect that has a pitch, I can adjust the pitch to make sure it fits in key with the music. Not someone, but who's fucking insane at that is Nintendo. their games have so many pitched sound effects in them, like, which I think is part of the kind of fun, at least audio wise, like the fun Nintendo vibe. And they are absolutely insane with the ways they like.
If you listen to all the Wii especially like the music in the menu and in the different menus and the sound effects, like they sound like nothing else you've ever heard of.
Yeah. Like one example I have is if you've all played Mario Odyssey,
No.
the damn. I know you have, Jacob.
Yeah, I have.
You know when you like ride a power chord or whatever in it?
Yeah.
The little like sound effect that it
Yeah.
makes. That sound effect not only will change pitch depending on what key the song is in, it will literally change every chord in the song that plays. It changes pitch to fit with that chord of the song. So if you have like a song playing that like is a lot quicker, you'll notice like the sound effect changes quicker too, which is just absolutely insane. Like Breath of the Wild also, this is not a hot take, but Breath of the Wild has like my favorite music and sound design of like any game ever, I think. Like for example, the noise you make when you're walking is like, depending on what sword you have equipped, what bow you have equipped, and what shield you have equipped, makes different rattling sounds.
Damn.
And not only that, but it's tied to your right and left leg stepping. Like when your right leg steps, you hear the sword rattle, and when your left leg steps, you hear like the shield and bow rattle.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And like speaking of Nintendo, I heard, just like how they did it in Metroid Prime, the developers of your game are actually going to design some weapons based off of the sound effects you make for them, right?
Yeah. I give them the sound effect and they go, "Wow, let me work on that."
Jacob, you can do that.
What do you mean? That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, that's why Nintendo is so good, is because
They give all the power to Tommy Tallarico.
yeah.
Make the games based on his design.
Close personal friend of
Of Shigeru Miyamoto.
yeah.
And also the first American that worked on Sonic.
On Sonic,
Yeah.
Which I actually thought of when you were talking about the like wire thing in Mario Odyssey. One thing that's like a cool effect in like Sonic Frontiers that is like a cool effect at first and I wished I could turn off is when you enter boost mode, it like does a boost like speedy version of the song that's playing on the stage. But this is a game where like you always want to be in boost mode, and so you're never just hearing the fucking song. And so I'm like, I wish I could turn off the boost effect on the song.
Yeah, and I like that's another just interesting aspect I think to writing like the music and sound effects and stuff is like, yeah, like that's the nightmare scenario. Like I want cool effects, but like every effect I have to think about is like, will this get fucking annoying after you've been doing a 4-hour gaming session?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like just little systems where like something that is fairly common knowledge in like music production is that the way like frequency works, like on a the hertz like frequency scale, is it's not a linear scale. It's like a logarithmic scale. So down in the bass where the hertz is very low, the difference between 20 and 30 hertz is massive. Whereas, like, when you're really, really high-pitched, the difference between 10,000 and 20,000 hertz, it would be, like, similar. Which means that just because you have much less numbers to work with in the bass of audio gets really, really muddy really, really quickly. So, like, a lot of times in music, like, I'll have a system where, like, a kick drum and a bass guitar, for example, fight each other for the same like frequency range. So depending on what you value, you'll make a system to like automatically duck the volume of the bass guitar when the kick drum plays. So I've had to do kind of a similar thing in the game too, where like I built a system so that if the sound effects that are playing in the game, which, you know, I can't control, that's up to the player, but like if the sound effects have a lot of bass going on, I need to like automatically kind of duck the bass of the music that's playing so it doesn't like start sounding really muddy.
Mm-hmm.
Just all this to say basically that there's just so much that like even me like really enjoying music and audio and video games, I never thought of any of these like when I was playing games. It's not until I'm like sitting at the project and being like, oh fuck, like this sounds bad. What do I need to do to change it?
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed, like, I mean, you brought up those examples for Breath of the Wild and Odyssey, but like, have you noticed your appreciation for certain like sound design go up since you got more into it? In
Oh
anything?
yeah, no, absolutely. Like it's something I pay a lot more attention to. I haven't been playing a lot of video games recently. Also just because so much of my life is occupied by this project.
Yeah.
But like yeah, even like in like I played Stardew Valley with a friend of mine last night and like so much more attention to, you know, all the little like I'm very hooked on the fishing minigame in Stardew Valley. Like
Uh-huh.
all the little bits of like sound design that go into, you know, casting your rod and then like it'll make like fake out noises to try to trick you into pulling your rod too quickly. And then like the actual noise when you hook a fish. Not to brag about our farm in Stardew Valley, but we had our first day the other day where we made like $20,000 in one day or something.
Damn, big ballin'.
Hell yeah.
Just wait till you have a basement full of wine barrels that are
Ooh, hell
constantly
yeah.
pumping out $1 million wine.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, the way then too that like as it's counting up your money, like I noticed the sound effect got like way more intense because we had made more money. And the little like money counter starts shaking too. That was
Uh-huh.
really good. Um
Has there been anything you've revisited, like whether it be a game or movie or show or whatever, that you like respect less now that you know their sound design isn't very good?
um I don't think so, honestly. Like I and also part of this is just that like since getting really into this I have not really had the time even to like
For sure.
revisit things. But like you can definitely like I don't know, there is like an aspect to like playing something and like it's not that I respect it less, but that, like having little moments of like, oh, like I would have wanted the sound to change here, but it plays the same sound that it does usually.
Uh-huh.
Like I played last night at your suggestion, I played the first level of Unpacking.
Mhm.
Which is a very, very cute little game. I had never heard of it until you mentioned it. Granted, I only played the first level, so only like 30 minutes of it, but kind of like unpacking your stuff into your room
Yeah.
and like figuring out how to sort like where you want to put things. And it's got like different sound effects for, you know, depending on what object you're unpacking and where you put it, and then like a lot of little kind of like ear candy things to it that were really good too. I looked up the audio designer actually, and he also worked on a lot of the Total War games and Alien Isolation.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit.
Interesting.
Like he's
I
an
didn't think-
experienced guy for
Yeah,
sure.
I didn't think Unpacking had that kind of pedigree behind it. But
Yeah.
that's really cool.
But yeah, it's definitely like there's so much to pay attention to and so many things that like you kind of can't pay attention to, like unless you know what you're looking for, you would never notice it, except that like it just adds that slight little sauce to the game kind of.
For sure, yeah.
Like another example from Breath of the Wild that's like pretty insane is like when you're in the mountains specifically and it's stormy there's like a really, really subtle filter that gets added to the sound effects that just like slightly kind of tones down some of the frequencies in the sound effects. And then when the storm clears, like when the sky starts becoming clear, that filter gets like slowly lifted. And it's like barely even perceptible, but it just kind of adds a little bit of like relief to like a storm clearing when it leaves.
Mm-hmm. That's all really cool. I'm really happy for you and proud of you that you're, doing all this shit. Both of you. You're both doing cool shit. Even if it was just the one mod, like that's fucking cool. You fucking did something.
I want more. I want more.
Yeah.
I'd like to make money from this for sure. I'd like to be able to do this full time.
Yeah.
Still
Still though, I mean, like whether it's happening yet or not, like you're doing it. You know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the thing is, what I would say is like when I started my job, I was like, oh, I'll keep doing making video games out of a hobby, and I worked on some stuff for a while, but then I got just drowned in the school stuff plus work stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I just stopped doing it. I also stopped doing it because I was programming and then programming at school and then programming at work, and I just wanted to get out of my computer. But then it got bad to the point where like, oh, I want this bad. Like I need, like this is a better enjoyment than playing video games now because I got so frustrated with the other stuff. Like at some point it's not even like I don't even feel like I'm putting in the effort or whatever. It's like it became a need.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like it's not a merit thing that like you can will it into existence by putting in the effort. I mean, sure, you kind of need to put in the effort, but like it was more of a I'm listening to my body and my crave kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah. I have no doubt that we'll get there. I think like anything that you find that like you have that desire for, like kind of meant to be,
Yeah.
It's just the getting there, the in between that is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think like especially with your music, Lincoln, it's like it may not have manifested in like something beyond it existing, but it exists. And
Oh,
it's
for
fucking
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like all of your
Well,
shit is
thank
so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm blushing.
You should be.
But yeah, like no, I love doing it. Like creating for the sake of creating. It's like what the say create art, help others to do the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to do that even more, which would involve getting paid for it, which hopefully will come. But yeah, I think it's something I've been like afraid of for so long because it is so like personal to me to try to like step out, and because I always felt like, oh, like if I don't get big projects or whatever, if it doesn't work out, then this thing that's so deeply personal to me, like I'm a failure in it if I don't get if I don't make it or whatever. But I don't know, I've had that kind of like mindset shift of like, will I look back on my life at the end of my life and regret it if I never try? And I definitely would. And B, just kind of like, fuck it, like what if it does succeed?
We both.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really cool. So anyways, I don't know. I've lost my MC spirit because I've been sitting here for the last hour or so and just been like, man, these guys are just so much more interesting than me. And
Okay, well that's not true.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I just like looking at our fucking spreadsheet. I mean, not spreadsheet, our fucking Google Doc, and I'm like, yeah, you guys just talked about this cool shit you're doing, and I'm like, I don't know, I read some fucking comics.
I don't know, man.
I think it's cool. I like.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous of you guys because I don't know. I don't have that kind of drive you do, but I'm like, I wish I did, but I don't know how to get it.
Okay,
You know?
here's my question. Is it you see it as drive, but I think it's crave. Do you feel like you're craving for something artistically speaking, and that like you are not where you are meant to be right now?
I mean, I have. It's hard, right?
Because
Like,
to me, you have a project, right?
I mean, I have a project, but my project is just fucking like consuming media.
No, I meant
Like, what project are
like
you talking about?
becoming a teacher. I mean,
Yeah, that I mean, that's a drive enough. But it's like right
that's not
now,
drive enough.
I don't know. It's
Are you not
different.
satisfied?
It's different. It's like right now I'm in the stage where I'm doing general education, so it's like it's just something I have to get through until like I can actually be in it. You know, like I get what you mean, but I'm torn between like that is a goal of mine that I am passionate about, and I am technically working towards it, and unfortunately like the way to work towards it isn't to do it, it's to get through all this bullshit before you can start doing it. But
Yeah.
I also have like the urge to be creative, and I don't like have like I don't know. I have like the craving, but I don't have like enough of a craving to get over the hurdle. I you know, I'm like in game design school, like I loved being the idea guy. But being the idea guy really just means you're a fucking hack, you know? Everyone has ideas, but like putting them into practice is the hard part, and you know, there's a job for that. It's being a fucking director or a like creative lead on a project, but it's like you have to do the bullshit to get to there, or you have to be rich and
For
start
sure.
your own studio and nepotism and everything. So, you know,
Yeah.
there's plenty of stuff. I always find myself in this annoying like field, or I don't even know how to describe it. It's like whether it be in fucking video games, like literally playing games, or like creating stuff, I always find myself in this weird realm of like being good enough that I can no longer relate to the people who aren't like into it, you know? Like it's just like fucking playing Super Smash Brothers is an example I would use, but I can translate this to art too, which is like I've always been too good at Super Smash Brothers to play with casual players, but I've never been good enough to play with people who actually play the game. uh and like the same thing for like drawing or video editing or whatever, where like I'm good enough that like people who don't draw or edit videos will look at what I do and be like, hey, that's really good, but like I have at least the eye to see like, no, it's not that good. Like it's the bare minimum of any of these things, of any of these creative processes, but
Well,
I don't have like the drive to get good at them. Like I just don't have it in me to care, unfortunately.
I get that. Like I think I mean, and like it's very much cliche to say like there's no kind of time frame on figuring out
Yeah.
like what you would have the drive for. It's definitely like a fucking tough hurdle to get over, is the like, you know, to be good at something you have to suck at it first.
Yeah, for sure.
I think too, like, I mean, just from what you're saying, like, yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into like, you know, your art or video editing and these things, but like imposter syndrome is real and it's a bitch too. Like, I
Yes.
still feel like
I know. Fuck
everything
you.
I
You're not an
make, I'm like,
imposter. You're an imposter for feeling like an imposter.
that's the thing. I'm like, everything I make, I feel like it sucks, or like not sucks, but it's like, yeah, like you said, like the bare minimum, like here's what I did. Like really, it wasn't until I think like, you know, working on that Terraria mod where like people started, I started really hearing feedback from people who don't know me, and like, obviously, like I love hearing good feedback from you, and I obviously believe you're being genuine, but like people who have truly no investment in my well-being who say that like it's good, and like I've really had to work on turning off the part of my brain that goes like, nah, it's fine, and like listening to people when they say that it's good,
Yeah.
Speaking of what is good that you make, I think like when I pitched you guys will be talking, like I only wanted to like podcast with you and I wanted to have fun podcasting, but then you started putting in the work to like make it an actual channel and make actual editing for the videos with fucking thumbnails and trying to think of like what the podcast should be, or at least how we could make it make sense. And it's like you have that drive, you have that drive, and you did the insane thumbnail for this episode we're doing, and then you also did the insane thumbnail for the game of the year thing. Like, I don't think you're lacking. I don't know. I just think you're doing good stuff too.
Yeah, like I think I was gonna say like something similar, that things like, yeah, like making that thumbnail, doing like fun editing, like the fact that those ideas into your mind, I think shows that like you have the sauce at least. Like I think something, if we want to frame it as a positive, a positive of like all this AI art bullshit, is it's just exposed how much of the population does not have the sauce. Like how much of the population just doesn't care in that way, where they'd go, put in a fucking Mr. Beast AI thumbnail because you just need a thumbnail for your project and you don't want to put in the effort to make it something good. So like the fact that like, yeah, that your brain, like it feels automatic for sure, that you would just go like, oh, like, this is what this needs or whatever, so let me make this. But so much of the population wouldn't think that way, I think.
Well, I have to confess something to you, Lincoln, which is that I literally just copy-pasted our Google document into Crayon, and it made that thumbnail for me, so...
You know what made me really fucking jealous of you, Jacob?
What?
When you sent me that card, the Christmas card with your cats.
Yeah, for real.
Because I was like,
I love
motherfucker made a homemade card with his little cutie cats and his little cutie fiancé and sent it to fucking friends. And I'm like, what am I doing? I need to send postcards to people. What the fuck?
Yeah, me too. I thought I need to send postcards more. I love my Katniss card. It's on the fridge.
I was very touched when I went over to stay at your place and I saw the most autistic thing I've ever done sitting on your mantle. Oh my god. And it got more autistic when we got a shared matching tattoo.
When we got matching tattoos.
Oh my god. Okay, Victor. You know what? Send me a picture of this, Lincoln, because this is an audio podcast, but I'll slide some pictures in here. I fucking, how many? It was 2 or 3 years ago. It was like when Lincoln was like firmly into One Piece at this point. Like maybe caught up or close to it. I don't remember exactly. But we sent Lincoln like our normal cat Christmas card. But then I sent an additional drawing of just like a raised fist with the X on the forearm, and that was the X in Xmas. And I sent it to him, and immediately after it left with the mail guy, I was like, oh my god, that was the most autistic thing I've ever done, and I can't I need to go stop him from delivering that mail.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I don't think I followed. What did you give?
So Lincoln, can you take a picture of it and send it to our Discord? It should be to your left last time I
you
checked.
like there's some like you got the tattoo with Lincoln, and then just afterward you gave something to the mail guy.
No. The tattoo came way later. The tattoo just happened. What? Oh my god. Oh. It hurts to look at, but I do. Oh, and the straw hat on the eye. Oh my god.
It's great.
It rules, yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys. You know, I think really I just need to be obligated to do stuff. That's my issue. So Victor, please hire me when you're on unemployment, because I need to be obligated to do something. Otherwise, it's not going to happen, because I will always pick Dino Crisis over it.
Reasonable.
I'll see what we can do.
Speaking of Dino Crisis, no.
Let's go! Big podcasting right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the last
we went from Full Metal Alchemist to Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Damn, you're right. No, I mean, Dino Crisis was cool. The last thing I really was enthusiastic about talking about was comics, but I don't know. I feel like we've moved past that energy. But yeah, I got in. I'm getting into Western comics. I have a little box now, and that's cool.
What is it that's
They
cool
do
about
seem
the
cool.
new comics? Like, what's there's something I wanted to ask you. What's the art direction of the new Absolute series? Like,
I mean, it's
they're-
varying. I think it's really like Absolute is what I got in on, mostly just because it's what's currently happening. You know, like I do really like all the Absolute stuff I've read. But it's not like I picked it over anything else necessarily for it being what it is, as much as it's just like the currently running thing that I felt manageable. Because reading Western comics is fucking hard. Like, people who read Western comics tell you it's not hard, but it fucking is. You know, like manga, you start at volume 1. And I've been a manga guy my whole life, so I've always kind of avoided comics for the most part, unless it was something that felt more manageable or I just had enough of a drive to check it out. Like, I've read a lot of the Sonic comics because I fucking love Sonic, and that is an easy enough one where, like, there's 2 Sonic comics, but they are 2 comics that existed at different times, and so you can just start the current one at volume 1, because it essentially is a 1 through however many. Whereas, like, you know, I started reading Western comics because I just fucking loved that Superman movie that came out last year, and I was like, I need more Superman, because this is basically my first exposure to real Superman. You know, not like what people say about how lame Superman is, or like the fucking what is his fucking name? Like, you know, the Man of Steel and Justice League of the 2010s, you know, that Superman, which, like, now that I've got more Superman experience, is not fucking Superman. But so I started and basically just looked up, like, you know, what Superman should I read? And thankfully, like, James Gunn, director of the movie, like, quoted a handful of Superman comics that were direct inspiration for the movie, and they were all, like, relatively contained stories. So another thing DC has been doing recently is releasing DC Compact Comics, which is essentially they are taking, like, shorter runs of series and putting them in essentially a manga format. So that, like, I am probably the example of why they're doing shit like that, because for a while I was only picking up compact comics of stuff because I'm like, this is a form factor I'm familiar with and is, like, achievable for me. So, you know, the ones that were always shouted out were like All-Star Superman, Superman Birthright, Superman for All Seasons, and Birthright and All-Star have compact comic versions of them. So I read those and really liked them, and then I wanted to read a bit more. I had heard like Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is what the upcoming Supergirl movie is adapting from. I'd heard that was really good, but it didn't have a compact comic yet, so I literally waited for the compact comic version of it to come out. So I got that and read it and fucking loved it. And then basically I had just heard Absolute Batman was really fucking cool. You know, I watched Versus Wolves where they talked about it and was like, damn, this does sound really cool. I should check it out. So I got like the first compiled volume of it at Barnes and Noble, which is just the first, I want to say 7 issues of the comic. I was going into it kind of expecting, like, from what I could tell at the time, the absolute runs of all these series, of which there are 6 right now: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and The Flash. Um, like, from what I could tell, the marketing on the absolute universe seemed to be like, this is a different universe where it's grittier and darker, and like the characters are lacking something that they usually have. And so like for Batman, it's like he's not rich. His mom is still alive. And his dad wasn't killed in like a random alleyway shooting. He was like killed in a mass shooting at a zoo. And so like I had, you know, seeing that, I was like, man, a darker, grittier version of Batman who, like, in my perception is like already teetering on misery porn edge in his general media. Like, that doesn't sound that great, but like it just looks really cool. You know, the art's cool, and what I've heard about stuff that happens in it is cool, so I'll check it out. And I read it, and it's fucking beautiful. Like, it is really cool, and like there's certainly a lot of dark, like edgy shit in it, but it like comes together in this really beautiful way, to the point where there's like pages of it where I'm like, I feel like I'm reading Superman, but it's a fucking Batman comic, in the sense of like there's literally a part where his fucking cape in the absolute universe is like he has tendrils, like mechanic tendrils that can form a cape, but they also like act kind of on their own, like as extra limbs. And he's like basically swinging through the city like Spider-Man would, and then and it's just like, it's, oh my god, the first volume of Absolute Batman especially, you should just read as its own contained thing. But it's like, it's going back and forth between like his experience becoming Batman, like him figuring out what he wants to do with it. Like, he starts like beating up petty criminals, and I think even killing some of them, and then being like, no, that's not what I'm supposed to be. And it's like cutting between that and like a conversation he had with his dad when he was a kid, because his dad was like his teacher. And you know, I mean, this really touched me, especially because like, fuck, like, I don't want to die in a mass shooting at a zoo, but like Bruce's dad is who I want to be in in Absolute Universe.
Damn.
And it's like cutting back and forth between this conversation he's having with his dad and like him realizing like he has to live by those values, and he can't live by the like fucking spirit of vengeance way he's been living as Batman. And until it culminates in just this like beautiful page of him like swinging through the city, and he's like, I gotta be the hope for Gotham. I can't be like I can't just be the savior of Gotham, I have to be their hope too. And so I read that and I was like, that was fucking amazing. I caught up to I was holding off of getting issues for a while. I was just gonna buy the compiled volumes and read those. But then, you know, there were 2 of Batman, and so I picked up one of Superman, because like a darker, grittier version of Superman didn't sound very appealing to me either, but like Batman had proved that kind of wrong, that that's not exactly what Absolute is. And so, you know, I picked up the first volume of Superman. I thought it was pretty good, and there were some things I really liked in it. But then it was when I grabbed the second volume that I was like, oh no, this is fucking beautiful. Literally made me cry. This is incredible. And then I blacked out, and now I own every issue of every Absolute comic that has come out in the last 2 years. And I'm not caught up to Green Lantern and Flash yet, because I literally like only got the compiled first volumes of both of those yesterday, but I read them both yesterday. And am like all pretty close to catching up to Green Lantern. But yeah, I don't know. I just like I became so like invested in this universe, and I went to my local comic book shop and opened up a fucking pull list for every Absolute series. So one issue of each new series comes out a month, but basically a new issue, 1 or 2 new issues comes out every Wednesday. So now I basically am just like, I've only done it, well, I did it the last 2 weeks in a row. I went and got the new issue of whatever came out. But now the plan is basically every Wednesday I'm going to go up, be like, yo, open up my pull list, and then just get the new issue and read it. And that's exciting.
Oh yeah,
That's fucking
awesome.
rules.
You'll have to let me know how Absolute Flash is, especially. I remember reading a lot of like Flash comics as a kid. I was really into the whole Speed Force thing he had.
As of the first 6 issues, which is what the like first compiled volume has, it's definitely the weakest of the Absolutes for me. But I mean, it's still pretty fun. Like the art goes crazy on it.
Nice.
Batman and Superman are definitely like, oh, these mean something to me, and then like Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter are just like, oh, this is sick as fuck. And then Green Lantern I'm still catching up on, and it's had some cool stuff so far. The first volume is really cool because it's almost more like a setup to what Green Lantern is, and then it starts being Green Lantern, and that's where I've like not lost interest necessarily, but like, oh, this was cooler when it was like this mystery surrounding what happened to this one town. But also, I don't really know what the fuck is going on with Green Lantern. I have basically no knowledge of any of these characters. So it's kind of learning about that, which is interesting for me. But yeah, I'll let you know if Flash gets more interesting. I'm definitely gonna keep up with it, but it's probably the least good one out of all 6.
Gotcha. I don't know if we feel like a natural endpoint. I gotta pee really bad.
Me too.
So we can.
Okay, you guys do go pee.
Yeah.
I had a moment of like, while I was pissing, of like, man, I shouldn't have said. Maybe shouldn't isn't the right word, but now I feel like I need to do a disclaimer when I was talking about that Christmas card being the most autistic thing I've ever done. I don't use it. It's not a pejorative.
Yeah.
I'm undiagnosed, but pretty sure. But also, I got evaluated several times as a kid, and it was kind of half and half who said yes, who said no, and one of the people who said no said it was because of my evil Jewish blood, and so I'm pretty sure that makes me want to lean towards the yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, he literally was like berating my mom for having me because she passed evil Jewish blood on to a child.
Awesome. Good stuff.
I want good things to happen to. I want things to happen to certain people.
Sure.
He's surely dead. He was old back then, and if he hadn't died of old age, I'm sure COVID got him.
Yeah.
Then rest in peace.
The Jewish pirates, the evil Jewish.
Oh my
pirates.
god! Yeah, should we?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we like? Obviously, there's plenty more we could talk about. I don't know if we want to call it. I'm just getting nervous about my nearly 3-hour-long unsaved audio project at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta abandon that fear at some point. We had like an 8-hour recording, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I don't know about
Why did we
Ableton.
not do it in second part, in 2 parts?
That would have been smart. I mean, listen, yeah, because I really meant to transition Gundam into talking about your visit and all that.
Oh yeah.
And then I got thrown for a loop with the Yoko body pillow. Uh,
I'm down to talk about Gundam and then hear about you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Gundam is fine. I'm fine leaving Gundam where it is. I don't know if this
Well,
is
I'm
a
not,
hot.
because now I want to talk about my experience watching season 1, so I'm dragging back into this.
Pull it right back together.
Well,
Yeah, this really this started as the Rag on Jacob podcast with the Yoko body pillow, and really kind of hasn't left that zone entirely.
I mean, you guys were nice to me when I sabotaged the good vibes with my bad vibes. So, we turned it around.
That wasn't bad vibes. It was, I don't know.
It was a
You
little
are being real.
it was a little woe is me of me for sure. But God damn it, I did it for content. But
If it's the there's a reason why dudes need 2 podcasts is because then we never talk about this shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, when will
There's-
guys be talking?
There's a reason I always have to include Tommy Tallarico when we're talking about Lincoln's music, because I can't just be genuine about my appreciation of it. I have to throw in a Tallarico jab.
And I'm glad you do, because I don't know if I could take a purely genuine comment.
Next time, it's gonna happen. It's gonna come out of nowhere. Maybe not next time, but like one of these upcoming times.
Sneak it up on me.
It's
Yeah.
you're not gonna realize that it's been like 30 minutes and Tommy Tallarico hasn't been mentioned, and you're gonna start getting nervous.
Oh fuck! What's Guinness World Records?
The largest symphony ever
Ever
performed.
made.
Yeah. I mean, fuck it. I mean, I'm down to talk about Gundam some more.
If you guys have the time, I don't want to.
I
I
got
don't want to impose on you.
I've got plenty
I
of
love
time.
Gundam. Yeah.
You should watch fucking Hathaway. I mean, like, yeah, you should watch Zeta and Char's counterattack first, but I think Hathaway, you could pretty easily slip into knowing Char is crazy, and that's all you kind of need to know going into Hathaway. At least Hathaway
And-
1. I don't know about 2 because it hasn't come out yet.
Char is crazy, and Hathaway has woman trauma.
Oh yeah, I forgot about. Oh my
Okay.
god, I actually forgot how important he was in Char's counterattack. So yeah, I guess you should watch Char's counterattack first.
Wait, women trauma. So in what sense?
So
In the woman sense, or in the?
basically, I don't know if this got cut out of the compilation movies for original Gundam, but at least seemingly starting with Zeta, if there's a woman with light blue hair that gets introduced, they will be criminally insane and they will have a huge effect on the main character. So, for Camille, that was number 4, and for Hathaway, that was this woman named Kess, who is like even more criminally insane than 4 was.
All right.
And there's like a little flashback to that moment in the first Hathaway movie, which was cool because one, I was like, man, Kess is actually relevant in this story to some degree, but also it was really interesting, especially comparing it to the Zeta compilation movies, which had weird like reanimated scenes in more modern day animation. It was cool to see a modern day animated scene of that Char's counterattack scene, and it actually looked fucking sick.
Yeah, and like from Hathaway's point of view in that scene specifically, it was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. I'm so fucking hyped for Hathaway too, man.
Me too.
I keep watching that Guns N' Roses video.
Hell yeah. It'll be a good post Mother's Day treat for me.
Oh, true. Oh man, I mean, it's like literally right there.
Yeah.
Huh?
So Hathaway 2 is a new movie?
Yeah, so it was a trilogy of light novels by Tomino in what, like the late 90s, early 2000s or something.
That sounds right. Yeah.
And then the first movie adapting the first light novel came out in like 2022. Uh, and the second one is finally coming out. Well, I mean, it's been out in Japan, but it's hitting US theaters in a month, on May 15th.
I see.
But like so
So,
far, like I am really liking Gundam, but so far the first Hathaway movie like is by far my favorite Gundam thing that I've seen.
Yeah,
and
it's really
did,
good.
did you end up catching up to the like what happens in the original series thanks to the movies, or did you only watch half?
I mean, I feel like I've only seen them, so I can only speak for what it feels like having seen them, but I feel like I got everything that was really important out of it.
Yeah,
But I
you
don't
get
know
the
if you feel,
story for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, because last time we talked about it, and like it felt to me like I talked about stuff that happened at the end of the original series, and that you didn't know of, and so I was like, damn, does the movie stop early on, or
No, I'm pretty sure the movies like conclude the
Yeah, they
story.
do. Had
I,
you just not watched the last movie at that point?
well, I don't even remember what you were talking about, Victor. What was the thing?
that it was we were talking about the Princess of Zion,
Oh shoot.
Carmilla.
Well, yeah, you brought that up when we had only watched the first movie, which is like a third of
Yeah,
the
okay.
series, and that happens at, like towards the end of it.
Yeah, I thought at this point that the movie had done everything.
No. We had only watched a third of the movies at that point.
um, One of my favorite scenes is in the original series when the last battle, the Carmilla puts a gun on her brother, and her brother goes, "You wouldn't dare,"
Uh-huh.
and then she just shoots him.
Uh-huh. And then Char shoots her in the face with a fucking rocket launcher. And it's
Yeah.
the
that
sickest
that
thing
one is
ever.
gnarly. I don't know how
Yeah.
it goes in the movie, but in the series, it is the most like gorish it gets.
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
I
If
mean,
you
I
go frame
think
by frame.
I don't think the movies have any new animation in them. I think they're just clips from the show. So yeah, it is
Yeah,
like the
this is
same shot.
this is fucking insane.
No, it's
And also kind of
like
news.
you would think the bazooka explodes and you don't see the violence, but the rocket just takes her fucking head off.
Yeah, you like
Yes, and then you see the limbs blowing apart of the copy for like less than a second.
yeah, like right when we finished the movie, I like showed Lincoln this scene from I think episode 2 of Black Lagoon where essentially the same thing happens. And I was like, I remember it being really gory in Black Lagoon, but it's so much worse in Gundam. Like,
Yeah, it is.
and then it hasn't like gotten there yet again.
Yeah.
In what I've seen at least, which is kind
There,
of crazy.
yeah. There's definitely like big, mass murder shit that happens a lot, but it's not like as personal as Caecilia getting her head blown off by a bazooka.
Yeah, one of the things that I've thought of a lot about like while watching Gundam was actually something you brought up when in our Gods Will Be Watching episode where you were talking about Legend of the Galactic Heroes
Mhm.
and about how like a lot of that is about and like a lot of Gods Will Be Watching was about how like the scale of battle in space is just so insane
Mhm.
and it's like
Mm.
unsustainable. And I've thought about that a lot while watching Gundam stuff and like them talking about it cuz like you hear 1 year war and you think like, oh, that's kind of nothing.
And
But
then
like every other episode like of Zeta even is like a laser gets shot into space and like 50 fucking explosions happen and you're like, oh, each of those explosions is like someone piloting something.
Uh-huh.
And it happens in a second. And one of the really cool parts about the first Hathaway movie is like seeing that scale from the perspective of a normal person on the street as it's happening like in the city above you, and it's fucking sick as hell.
One of the things that I actually wanted to bring up Legend of the Galactic Heroes way earlier when in this episode, like as we were recording at the beginning, when you guys were talking about, Gundam starts off, half of the humanity's population died in the war, and then this other anime, like, re
Way more people died in this war, bros.
yeah, yeah, but like, basically, did one over, what's the correct word? Whatever. Uh, Basically, did even more. There's something that I really love about Legend of the Galactic Heroes, in how grounded it is that it basically tells the story of like those two nations governments that have been at war with each other for forever, and it makes the point. There is an During the series, it makes the point that like, 5% of the total population of this nation is currently in the military. And you hear of those insane battles in space and stuff, and it's like, you hear, 5%? Doesn't seem like much, but then it all of the episode there is no battle at all. It is all dedicated to showing you how when a nation, 5% of the population of a nation is dedicated to the military, it is at this point effectively economically crippled for the next century.
Uh-huh.
because
Yeah.
because the armies are, all mostly made of young men, that are between a certain and a certain age. So this 5% actually represents a much larger percentage of this demography, and this demography was learning how to do engineer stuff, was working on some building shit. Uh, you have made a generational gap, and all this for sending like millions of people dying in a single day because a spaceship exploded.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think Lincoln, I think you would get a real kick out of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, but there
Yeah.
is much lesser actions. Like, it's a lot more talking, so you really need
Gotcha.
to enjoy sci-fi lore to
Oh,
enjoy
I
that
love
one.
sci-fi lore.
I think you'll get a kick out of Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Then I love it when mecha animes use their scales to.
Yeah. Yeah, Hathaway is really, really good at that.
It's like, it's so cool because it's like the scene in Hathaway where all that's happening is like you are following Hathaway, and this is his fucking operation that's happening. And it's
Yeah.
like he's suffering at the hands of his own fucking operation. And it's
And,
so
like,
cool.
Not only that, but like his guy is kind of losing the fight, so he's like trying to stay alive, and it's like, oh god damn it, like the operation's failing.
Yeah.
too.
It's so good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because he's like
Sorry.
trying to protect someone that isn't really involved, and so he's like giving that priority over the operation. So he's like, fuck, I'm letting my guy lose, but also my guy losing is putting this person in so much more danger than she would be otherwise. And it's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. That definitely makes me want to watch these.
Hell yeah.
This is a somewhat related tangent, but I've been watching very slowly, just kind of when I have time to watch a couple episodes. I've been watching Turn A Gundam, and it's really fucking good. Like, I'm only on episode like 15, and I'm pretty sure it's another 50 episode one. But so far it might be like my favorite Gundam show I've watched. It's like, basically, it's technically one of the side universe stories. It's got the thing going on with it that, like, kind of like the Zelda timeline, where people make it very complicated. The fan theory about Turn A that I guess is technically true is that it like takes place like at the end of all Gundam timelines, like when all timelines have converged, kind of. Which is technically true. I think the real thing is just that, you know, they were making it in the 90s and wanted to reference other Gundam shows, including, you know, Universal Century and G Gundam and, like, other ones. But it's a cool story. It's, like, basically, like, the sort of premise, if I remember correctly, is that, like, humanity was living on the moon, and they, like, sent some scouts to Earth, kind of, to try to colonize Earth with, like, the idea that, like, our scouts are going to colonize it, and then in a few hundred years, like, we'll move our government from the moon to Earth once it's set up. But obviously, in practice, means that now it's a few hundred years later, and, you know, my parents and their parents busted their ass, like, setting up a homestead on Earth, and now these fuckers on the moon are coming in and saying that they own the place.
Damn,
but
that's cool.
Yeah, and it's really cool because, like, the hook to the show to me is that, like, yeah, like, there's a war brewing between these people, but kind of neither side wants war. Like, the leader of the moon people just kind of wants to be loved and respected by what she sees as her people. And, like, particularly the main character, the main, like, Gundam pilot on Earth is like, originally a moon person, but he's kind of, like, fighting for the Earth. So, like, yeah, neither side really wants war, and the show is much more interested in, like, showing the Gundam as, like, a means of community service than, like, a weapon of war, even though it obviously needs to be a weapon of war. But, like, for example, like, the master grade kit of the Turn A Gundam comes with, along with, like, the little pilot guy, it comes with a miniature cow, because there's an episode that's, like, I don't know about centered around, but, like, a primary thing that happens is just the main character uses his Gundam to help a farmer return a lost cow.
Hell
and, like,
yeah.
He picks up the cow and puts it in the fucking empty nuclear missile silo that his Gundam has to carry it back home.
That's so cool.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the fucking Whitebeard mustache on this Gundam that I'm looking at right now. But this sounds like, I mean, I haven't really seen it, but just from what I've heard about it, it sounds a lot like Pat Labor. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it. I have not seen that one, though.
From what I understand, I think that's a similar thing where it's like they've got these mechs that are essentially tools of war, but they also just have to use it for, like, everyday labor. Like, that's why it's called Pat Labor. Or maybe it's the opposite. They're objects for labor that end up being used for war. Something like that. But I don't know. It sounds cool.
Yeah. It's definitely been on my, like, list of mecha anime I want to watch at some point.
Hell yeah. Turn A sounds fucking sick.
Yeah.
I might watch it just for this cow.
The cow rules. the fucking, like, episode title intro thing rules too. It's just a guy going, "Turn A Gundam."
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Any more Gundam thoughts?
My favorite Gundam episode is the one where a bunch of dudes in the original series, like a bunch of dudes that, like, are almost mercenary in how shitty they're being treated by the Zeon army, get on a bunch of scooters and plant a bunch of C4 on the Gundam of Hamuro. And then Hamuro has to defuse the Gundam by himself because there are so many C4s it will endanger the whole crew if someone else came around.
Yeah.
And the fucking guys are just watching him from afar with their fucking looking glasses.
Uh-huh.
and then all the whole team ends up being like, oh fuck it, we ball, and end up to come to help Amuro because he's almost done with the bombs. And once they've finally done defusing everything, the fucking dudes tiny ship and then the bombs come around on the fucking ship and they're like, hey, yo guys, what's up? Hey kid, what's your name?
Yeah.
Alright, have a good one, guys.
No, I love the way the original Gundam treats, like, the Xeon and the Federation soldiers, where, like, you know, they're fighting this big war, but also whenever you see, like, the day-to-day, like, they're just guys. They're not, like, really that invested in this war. Like,
Yeah.
Except for, you know, the shitty zombie kids or whatever, like, they're all just people. Like, the Xeon soldiers, like, you know, the Ramba Roll, and his wife fucking buy Amuro a drink.
All right,
like,
they're great.
yeah.
They're fucking great.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that too, and I feel like that gets like expanded in Zeta also because like they essentially switch sides. Like all your characters kind of switch sides in
Yeah.
at least in terms of like literal organizations, because they're like, oh well, now the Federation is just like fascist now, so fuck them.
Uh-huh. Which, yeah,
Hell yeah.
and like, yeah, I don't know if you've gotten to this point in Zeta yet, so maybe I shouldn't say anything, but when, like, Xeon gets kind of reintroduced, it's cool too.
I think
Like,
it's coming. It hasn't happened yet though, but it feels on the way. Because they're
Yeah.
incorporating other organizations now. Like, now there's some third party that's getting between them. And it seems like it's almost going Battle Royale. But I don't know if this is, like, a quick arc in the middle of the show, or if it's going to be, like, more what it's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite fights in the show is between two people who neither of which are on the main character's side.
Uh-huh. That's cool. But yeah, if we got nothing left to say about Gundam, I mean, we could transition into talking a little bit about your visit, because we did some cool things there, or we could just fucking call it. I don't, you know.
I mean, up to you. I'm down either way. The visit was really fun.
The visit, yeah, it was. I like the idea of ending the episode on something all three of us could talk about.
Yeah, that makes
rather
sense.
than like, hey Victor, you want to hear about this fun trip you didn't get to go on?
Yeah.
We could just tell
know.
the story of the tattoo guy, because that
tattoo
guy
guy
was
was
quite
crazy.
a character.
Yeah.
So the guy that gave you
Jewish
the One Piece
pirates.
tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, like, Lincoln came to visit a couple weeks ago. He lives in a different state than I do, and we see each other, like, on a good year, twice a year. And so I've wanted this fucking tattoo forever. It's the X from One Piece. It's the scene where they're leaving Vivi behind. They all raise their arms and show the X to show that they're still family, and she's part of the crew. And like, you got the X, that means you're part of the Straw Hat family. So
Yeah.
I've talked about like earlier in this episode, like, oh, if you want to understand me, like, watch Fooly Cooly, and like that and Gurren Lagann basically made me who I am, but like One Piece like instilled my values in me. So, it's like one of the most important things to me ever. So I've wanted this tattoo for fucking forever. And like then Lincoln got into One Piece, and that was a big moment for me. Another Nakama is joining the crew. And he already has tattoos, so I was like, he might be down to just get a tattoo. So I've been basically, like, I've been making a lot of changes in my life I've lost a lot of weight, so I was getting like a whole new wardrobe. I got a new car, just random shit, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's fucking time to just get it. you know, there's been a whole lot of New Year, New Me stuff going on. Maybe this should be one of them. So, and it just so happened to line up like Lincoln was going to come later that month. So we were hanging out and I was like, hey, you want to get matching One Piece X tattoos with me? And while you're here, and he's like, hell yeah. So, we planned it. I scheduled it. I leaned on Lincoln a lot to alleviate some of my anxieties of the process because I'd never gotten a tattoo before. But yeah, so we go in and we get our matching X tattoo on our arm, and the tattoo guy is fucking crazy. I mean, he's an artist. He killed it. He killed it at his craft.
Yeah.
But basically, like, I live in whatever, I'll dox myself. I live in Chatsworth, California, which isn't so much anymore, but for a very long time was known as the porn capital of the world.
The what?
The porn capital of the world.
Oh, okay, I heard
So
right.
so
Okay.
like an insane percentage of porn was produced in Chatsworth. I think that's changed because California now has like a condom law for porn. And so I think a lot of it moved out of California. But like because of that, like I looking at any tattoo artist in this town and looking at their portfolio, it's all like, oh, they're tattooing porn stars. Like this guy's portfolio is all like tattoos he did on someone's pelvic area. Here's just the whole ass and the tattoo he put on their ass. Like a lot of naked bodies, and he has the personality you would expect of someone whose entire living has been tattooing porn stars.
I do not know what kind of personality that would be.
Well, Lincoln.
Well, it started. We were talking about like vacationing, and
Yeah, because he was gonna go to Thailand or something later that month.
Yeah, like it started. I think like you were saying how you had been to Japan, and he's like, "Oh, have you ever been to Thailand?"
Yeah, that is exactly what happened.
Like,
listen.
no.
He took every opportunity to make the conversation about Thailand that he possibly could.
Yeah, and like I certainly tried. I tried to redirect at times, but yeah, he's like, have you ever been to Thailand? And we're like, no. He's like, oh, it's great. You gotta go. Last time I was there, banged 50 chicks.
He's like, by the end, I was averaging 6 a day.
Yeah.
And like, but it just like progressively got weirder and weirder and creepier and creepier, where it's like, yeah, they're great because they're all poor, they all need it.
Yeah. He's like, oh, really young women.
Yeah.
They're poor. They love old men because, I have money and it's like $20 for a girl. Like, what?
Oh my god.
Like at some point, I think around the young women comment, I was like, I need to try to redirect this conversation.
It was so hard to redirect though, because like he has a literal captive audience. Like,
yeah,
as he's telling us this story, he literally had my future in his hands. So like I had to yes and this guy because so, and yes anding just like made him say even more like nasty shit. Like
yeah.
Cause I can't be like, oh, yeah. I'd have to be like, well, what's cool about them being poor? And he's like, well, the poorer you are, some of them probably like are indentured, I don't think he ever said anything quite that like literal, but like it was leaning on like some of them have to be doing it so they'll do whatever you want. And
Yeah,
it was like,
My
oh,
fucking god.
it's like, oh man, this tattoo is halfway done.
yeah, but yeah, like at one point I tried to redirect him. I was like, so what's like, is there anything you wouldn't tattoo on someone? Like,
Yeah.
and he's like, well, I wouldn't tattoo a guy's
I was expecting
dick.
I was expecting like, oh, I wouldn't give someone a swastika tattoo. Like
Yeah,
that's what a
me
normal
too.
person would say, I think. Like,
Yeah,
but no,
that's where I thought we were going. But yeah, he's like, well, I wouldn't tattoo a guy's dick because I'm not gonna touch a dick. I was like,
What?
okay, yeah, totally.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, and like, I wouldn't let a guy tattoo my dick either. Like, yeah, like no one, he's not gonna touch my dick. If a girl did it though, and I was like, yeah, like. I don't know. I don't think I'd let anyone tattoo my dick. Like, I don't care who's touching it. I don't want a tattoo there.
It's like, no, sorry. I need to correct your first-hand story. You said, well, I don't think I'd even let a woman tattoo my dick.
Yeah.
Vibe changed. Vibe went down.
Yeah. He's like,
Like,
just silence.
we were yes-ending him to the point of like, yeah, we're friends, we're on the same page, but you said that, and he went, oh, these are not my friends. Like, it was such a tone shift. I don't even know how to describe it. It was like, you wouldn't let a woman tattoo your dick? Like,
Yeah.
the offense he took to that statement, it was immense and powerful.
Like, I said afterwards that, like, it's like, you can see my reputation go down with him.
Yeah.
What did you say, Jacob? Like, it was like The Sims, like, red arrow.
Yeah, the red arrow going down after you said the wrong thing. The fucking you've lost karma notification in Fallout. It was such a noticeable shift. Yeah, exactly. It was his Chinese social credit score going down by the millions.
Yeah.
And this was another like my attempt to kind of change the subject thing. He had on the TV one of those YouTube channels of just like someone building some shit in the wilderness. Like it was just some woman like, digging a hole and like putting a hut in there and like cooking in her wilderness and whatever. And I'm like, man, you got the perfect thing on the TV because it's like the perfect brain rot content to just like sit there and not think of the pain in your arm. And he's like, yeah, she's fucking hot too. Like, look at those tits. Like,
yeah, no, he literally.
My man, is there anything in this picture, in this video that you put on that is more interesting than the woman's tits?
Not to him, man. Not to him.
Yeah, immediate, like, yeah, look at her breasts and her legs. I remember that comment.
And then he said something too where he's like, and she's badass too. I mean, like, she's probably not the one actually building it. It's probably like the guy filming her, like she's probably stupid. She doesn't know how to build that shit, but like, she's fucking hot, man. And then
and she's on camera doing that shit, like.
Yeah, she's literally actively doing it. Like, you can see her doing it. Like, yeah, I'm sure, like, you should be skeptical about the one person being filmed in the wilderness building shit. I'm sure they have a production team carrying that because those videos probably make millions of fucking dollars on, like, brain rot watch time alone. And it's probably all coming from this guy because he seems to be streaming it 24/7 at his tattoo shop. But there was a time later where there was this one and he's like, oh, I think I've seen this one, man. I think this is the one where she gets attacked by snakes. She's really hot too. And it's like, attacked by snakes? What the fuck is going on? And sure enough, later on, she gets attacked by snakes because it's like these videos have like a weird narrative to them where like she builds a hut in a hollowed out tree. And she like goes to sleep in her tree hut, and then like snakes start coming in, so she has to move to another tree in the morning. But then there's like this bit where she starts just getting like aggressively bitten by bugs, like mosquitoes, flies, ants, everything, and it's just like 10-15 minutes of her picking bugs off of her. and he's like, I don't really get this part. I'm like, you don't get this part? Like this, like clearly this is all built on fetish shit, and this is like the most fetish of fetish shit that's been happening in these videos.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then, and then, so he never, despite us explaining multiple times what the tattoo meant, he never
got
grasped it. I don't think. Like towards the end, he's like, yeah, X, the mark of the beast. And it's like, yeah, sure, man, totally. But like, so we're talking about like One Piece and how it's like a pirate show, and you know the X means you're part of the crew or whatever. And he's like, yeah, well, you know, the original pirates were all Jews, and they just had so much money that they could leave and just go sail the world.
Yeah. Like, I've never heard that lore before.
Yeah.
What the Hold on, I never... Okay. What the fuck?
So there were several points in this event where he started leaning on like some anti-Semitic dog whistles, and he was never directly anti-Semitic, you know. He never said like Jews are bad, anything along those lines. But he kept incorporating like shit people probably talk about on Joe Rogan. I think he just listens to Joe Rogan and like all of his talking points other than like, you know, I mean, I'm sure
If not him, then his client.
Yeah, I'm sure his stories about Thailand also probably just come from Joe Rogan. But it's like, you know, the Joe Rogan experience is like it's bad because people come on with the entryway to their rabbit holes to like invite you down them. And so all the points he's talking about are like the entryway into the anti-Semite rabbit holes, but he never goes like to the second layer quite. You know, there was some point where I don't even know how it came up, but he was talking about how like, oh, he just wants all religion to die. Like that's what he thinks is going to happen in the next 10 years, is that like all religions will fade away except for Judaism. They will transform into a political party because they already own all the banks. And and you know, Judaism will stop being a religion and will start being a political party. We're just like, sure, man. And yeah, and like, how much is left on this fucking X?
I also thought it was really funny because like going in, like you could clearly see like it was a lot of his art that was hung around.
Yeah.
And like he's a talented artist, to be fair. Very good at that. Like he had this massive canvas that he was like making a big painting on. Didn't really look at it too hard. I was just like, oh, like I like your art, dude. As kind of a like icebreaker, I guess. Like it felt like weirdly quiet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of started the whole rabbit hole about Thailand. But then when I'm like sitting down next to his big canvas and actually look at it, and it's like nearly a collage of women just spreading their ass cheeks.
Yeah. It was like it was like the fucking, you know, the classic like depictions of hell paintings where like it's a bunch of people that are kind of morphing into like a weird like amorphous creature, but it's all like ass and titties and vagina.
And tentacles, I think.
And tentacles, yeah. I mean, listen, like make your art, man. Like it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm no prude.
I mean-
I'm no prude. Make your hentai, but there's more to life.
Yeah.
I mean, he manifested the manosphere.
It was
That
him.
he lives
He
in.
started it.
He did it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, make your hentai, but coupled with everything else about him,
It was
painted
yeah.
a picture of who this guy was, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then he was like, "Yeah, when you come back for your next tattoo, tell me about Thailand." Because he was like urging both of us to go to Thailand to get our
Yeah.
6 girls a day.
Yeah, you fucking go, because he's going to Thailand in a month, and he's like, yeah, I'm taking my 33-year-old son with me. You know, he's got a girlfriend now, but I'm gonna take him to Thailand and show him what the real world's like, and we're gonna change that.
Yeah. And Lincoln is a married man. I'm an engaged man. We are both wearing rings of our love and commitment on the hand that he is tattooing the arm connected to.
Yeah, he saw my wedding ring and he was like, "Oh, like how long have you been married?" And I was like, "Oh, like about 5 years." And he's like, "Damn, 5 years? How do you make that work?" And it took everything in me to not go, "Well, I don't go to Thailand."
I'm sure there's a lot of really great stuff to do in Thailand otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe not. Maybe not such
Also-
a focused trip as he wanted us to go on.
Oh my god, that is an insane story. I've had some insane people, but I always manage to maneuver so that I don't need to stay with them. But that being the tattoo artist is wow.
Well,
Anyways,
there's
check him
nothing
out.
we can do.
Tattoos and Chatsworth. He's off of Graham Avenue. I love editing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, obviously we'd cut it out. I don't know if I want to say this guy's name.
I'm EP as fuck.
Yeah.
Too
fair.
bad. We've got 3 more hours to go. We haven't even talked about Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Oh no, I haven't talked about Underrail.
Oh, I guess I could get a coffee.
No. I'm good to
Yeah.
call that good.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this special episode of Guys Will Be Talking. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you again in the next quarter. I, of course, was your host and MC for this episode, Jacob. And now one of you gives your send-off.
Wow. Bye.
That's not what I was
Have a
going
good
for,
one.
but okay. I was going for I'm Victor, I'm Lincoln thing, but you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Do again. I'm Victor. I have no energy to. I'm Victor.
Thank you for joining us, Lincoln. All you wonderful listeners, go check out his YouTube channel where he posts his amazing music. If you couldn't get enough of listening to our themes, go check out the Terraria Macrocosm mod, and go check out Name of Game when that releases.
Yeah.
Follow him for updates maybe on that.
Yeah, there'll be stuff once I can say anything about it. But, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
See you next time.
Boy.